welcome to a special edition of the Team Fatty Show. Woo. This one been we've been waiting for this for a while, so I guess we're going to have fun. I would guess we are going to have fun. Before I introduce the main event or the heavyweights of the show today, I just want to welcome everybody to the Team Fatty Show Wednesdays debates. We are going to do debates every single Wednesday and sometimes even 2 times a week because people say they're the best, people claim they're the best. So it's time for finally we see we actually who is the true king. The true king doesn't have to say he's the king. So let's see what's going on today. So friends, I appreciate y'all for being here. We are triple streaming right now. There's 251 people watching. Okay, so please, if you're watching on Sharon, like the video. If you watch on Fantastic, like the video. If you watching on my show, like the video too, I would appreciate it. This week we have a double header. Okay, we have a double header on Friday. We are going to have these two fellas, and it's going to be fun. Ilkan Ali versus Thanos Theory on Friday. But today is not that. Today is uh, red pill versus, I don't know, blue pill. I don't know. We're going to see which one is going to win. We have Mr. Fantastic versus Brownsville, New York. And I'm telling you, this is not going to be nice. This is not going to be pretty. So let's start the show. Sharon, Aaron, thank you very much for being here. Before I go to the main eventers, you guys have something to say before I go to them? Sharon is a amateur. He doesn't admit. You are still muted, Sharon. Damn. I played for you.
Hey, I just want to say shout out to both of the guys that is here that's willing to go up in front of an audience and debate. Shout out to both of them from putting it out there on the line and not being afraid to have a conversation with one each other. And good luck to both of y'all. Word, I'm here to see the show. Shout out to both of y'all. Shout out to you too, Mr. Fantastic. I know you probably think, but I'm going to be absolutely biased. Unbiased, I mean.
Wait. Damn, Sharon, you let that sleep? God damn it, Sharon. Jeez. Oh shit, here we go. So Aaron doesn't want to say nothing. He's already known on this space. Let's go to the main eventers. Brownsville and Mr.
It's time to do.
Not opening statements for now. You just want to say something real quick before I tell people the rules of the debate so we can move along.
Hey man, shout out to everybody. Y'all already know who I am, man. Appreciate people saying my name, finally showing up to the, the occasion. Let's get this done, man. Thank everybody for showing up. Shout out to the mods. Let's get it.
Damn. Brownsville. What's up, brother?
Yeah. Yo, man, first of all, let me take my shoes off, man, before I come into this room. Peace and love to all the beautiful queens out there. Anya Bracy, Dakima Renee, Robin M, DB, Shiesty, Bum, Bomb Juice, Bomb Cherry Juice, Rogue C, it's me, Dr. G, Happy Berry White, Sherry Berry, Miss Not for Everyone, Sexy Red TV, Jones and for More, See Through You, Moxie, Tequila, MJ, Genesis, Jalen, all the queens out there, man. Shout out to all y'all queens. Shout out to the kings as well, man. Can't forget about the kings. Shout out to the moderators, man. Aaron O, peace and love to you. Team Fatty, peace and love to you. And Cuzzo, peace and love to you. And then a major shout out to my opponent, man, Mr. Fantastic, man. Peace and love to you as well. Let's get it.
Thank you very much, friends. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Today, we're going to have an official timer, okay? We're going to have an official timer. I just want to make sure you guys are aware. The 1 minute timer is going to be up there. If people start to become a little bit more long-winded, we're going to make sure you use it. Let me just say the basic rules of debate so you guys are ready, okay? The debate is going to be 2 hours with an official clock, okay? 2 hours with an official clock. We are going to have a structure today. We are going to have opening statements, rebuttals, second arguments, and then the questions. These questions are going to be made by the mods, the debaters, and the super chats, okay? In case of draw, we will have a tiebreaker, and it's going to be 15 minutes with quick hits from one side and the other, okay? Rules that you guys need to know on the fan interaction that we are adding this week, okay? We are going to keep last week format. If you want to ask a question, so one of the debaters or both of them can answer something that is kind of going to be quick, $20, we are going to save them so we can do the question and they can answer your question, okay? Another thing is going to happen. We have an option called Google it, okay? If somebody comes up with a stat or a number or an opinion that the other person think is not valid, the other person has a chance to say Google it, which means we're going to stop the clock and we're going to Google it to see if it's factual or not, okay? The third option is call a friend. Both Mr. Fantastic and Brownsville are going to have the option, if they feel like it, if they want somebody to come up for 10 minutes to defend their point. So both of them can call a friend and they can come up for 10 minutes. The time will stop on the timer too. And finally, again, friends, this is a activate Shadow Realm. $100 trigger, meaning if somebody sends $100 and wants to activate the Shadow Realm, we go back to no holds bar, no gloves off for 20 minutes. Nobody can dodge questions, but we can go low. I don't want people to go to hell, but we can go low. So once again, $100 to activate the Shadow Realm. So friends, everybody knows the rules. Let me put the clock up here real quick. Here we go. Let me put this on the big screen. And I think it's time.
It's time to do.
Friends, oh friends, Mr. Fantastic, you got the first crack opening statement. Please go ahead and make sure it works.
Shout out to everybody. Today I will be representing the side of positive black male content, aka as they call it, a red pill, aka as they call it, manosphere. Things like that. And I guess it can include the incels also. But however it goes, I'm here to dispel a lot of the rhetoric, the false narratives, the straight out lies that have been told by media, society, black women, and black men that support black women in their misandry, to keep the black male's image down to the point as to where we're seen as lower class citizens, we're seen as not being good providers, protectors, leaders, all those different things in the rhetoric we hear. That's my opponent's going to use from a very emotional standpoint with probably very little data to back it up. So, like I said, I'm going to approach this thing from a statistical, data driven for the most part. I will be using some anecdotal experiences, not just only from myself, but from black men in this space, thousands of black men that represent this space and support this space, but the millions of black men that have some of the same issues, problems, and concerns that they voice every day through social media and real life. Just be prepared to learn a lot of things you didn't already know if you don't already know, if you're not familiar with me. But most of the stuff I'll be saying is just a counter false narrative about the ain't can't don't won't, as I like to call it, theory against black men, straight black men, by the way, straight black men.
Thank you, Mr. Fantastic. And we have Brownsville, New York. Brownsville, opening statement.
Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, what you're about to experience tonight is the dismantling of Mr. Fantastic. He will become the first victim on my onslaught of the Empire, right? We understand the talking points where we are diametrically opposed. Mr. Fantastic believes in disrespecting and denigrating women. I don't. Mr. Fantastic believes in sexually objectifying women. I don't. Mr. Fantastic believes that you should be whooping kids' A. I don't. Mr. Fantastic also believes that it's fruitful for our community for men to compare themselves with women. I don't. Mr. Fantastic also believes that it's fruitful for men to compete with our women. I don't. So you're going to see Mr. Fantastic pull out various statistics, putting the black man against the black woman in furtherance of this gender war that these Rim brothers have created. You won't see me do any of that, right? Because I'm not about that. They say that they're about reality, but in all actuality, they're about fantasy. They're about fallacy. And they're about flat out lies and disingenuousness. So, we're going to have a debate in which all of those things I just stated is going to be on display. And Mr. Fantastic is going to have to answer for his crimes against the woman on the internet. Peace and love.
Oh shit! This is not this. We
Yeah! They squabbling out there now. Yeah!
friends of friends. Once again, $20 and up. You can ask a question. They are going to be read on the last part of the debate. Every single super chat sent to any one of us is going to be read in the end of the debate. Okay, any super chat, $20 or under $20 is going to be read at the end of the show. The cash apps are down there for Brownsville, me and Mr. Fantastic. So again, just support the show. I would appreciate it. So finally, let's start. Let's start this motherfucking show. Mr. Fantastic, what do you have to say now that Mr. Brownsville and you did the opening statements about the allegations, I would say, that this man put out there?
Oh well, that's just what all they are is allegations. He's trying to play to the crowd again. Like he's pretty much already admitted defeat in the debate because he said he's not going to provide you with any type of statistics. He's not going to provide you with any type of data. He's not going to provide you with anything other than his personal opinion on moral standards, which change from person to person every day. All black people are not a monolith. Be it black men, be it black women. And I'm sure he says he doesn't sexually objectify women. Well, you have a wife, right? So you may not sexually objectify her publicly, but I'm pretty sure that you have children. So at some point in time, you sexually objectified her, privately. Okay, and that's not that is by all means allowed within a marriage. That's your wife. But again, this just shows the hypocrisy of a man that's trying to again critique something that he has no to very little understanding about, and simply coming from an emotional standpoint. A debate is not about your feelings. Okay, and only you have to have something to substantiate it, some type of data point, some type of stat, some type of numbers to justify what you're saying. So I'll be interested to hear what he has to say to prove it. That's my time.
Go ahead, Brownsville.
So first and foremost, what me and my wife do, we are lawfully and legal to do. So if I choose to lust after her, that's normal. That's doing things decent and in order, right? So we're not frowning upon husbands lusting after their wife. Let's have a real conversation. But what we do frown upon is when men are choosing to use the internet to sexually objectify women, like you do often, Mr. Fantastic. So that is what's out of bounds. And that's why when I come up on this platform, what I do is I call for men to remove sex, lust, and degeneracy from the top of their value system, replace it with God, add some other great values underneath that. And in turn, you're going to find success within a relationship. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find a wife like myself to where you can legally lust after her and you don't have to go to the internet in order to get your gratification. Peace and love.
Any rebuttal, Mr. Fantastic? Moderators have any
Of course.
questions?
Well, my bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You got this.
Yes, of course. So the my opponent just pretty much conceded this round. He agreed with me that he does indeed sexually objectify his woman. He just changed the terminology and said legally lust. So as I said, you're no different than the person that you're trying to put yourself over. Another thing too, this whole thing and this accusation, what he's saying, I need to be more specific. I think as a heterosexual man, me coming to the internet and candidly and from an entertainment lens, making my let's see, my attraction to and my sexual desire for women shouldn't be a problem or shouldn't be frowned upon for a straight black man, especially when we know we have for a man that's about family, the perils that we've seen when it comes to the alternative lifestyle community that a lot of our young black men seem to be turning to because they're raised by those same single mothers that he speaks to and he tries to protect.
I have a quick question for Brownsville because he's rough for a second. Brownsville, you mentioned legally, right? It's legal for you to lust and objectify your woman sexually. Is it illegal if you do it without being a girlfriend, a wife? Like, why did you mention legally if it is still legal to objectify a woman without them being our wives and girlfriends?
Well, I use that term to make the obvious distinction, right? Because Mr. Fantastic brought up that I sexually objectify my wife as if it's along the same playing field as he would just sexually objectify a random woman on the internet, right? So although it is legal for him to do so, right, it is clearly not proper in all instances. That's the point, right? Within a marriage, there's an understanding between the husband and the wife. On the internet, the understanding might be ambiguous.
Mr. Fantastic, what are the problems that you see with this rhetoric? Like, do you think is a legitimate concern or you think it's completely unfounded? The fact that man and woman, no, it's probably with men. Men objectify woman on the internet?
Uh,
Sexually.
you can't blame one side if the other side is causing it. How can men sexually objectify women if women aren't providing the ammunition or the, you know what I'm saying, the source of the sexual objectivity? You know, again, OnlyFans, you know, adult entertainment, not even that, you know, extremely um short amount of clothing that women wear nowadays on social media to get attention. So again, I don't understand how my opponent can blame the men when the women are the ones that's looking for the attention from the men. The women are actually profiting from the attention from the men. So until you get the woman to stop it, and if the women don't provide, you know, simply supply and demand, if they don't have supply, there's no demand for it for the most part.
Bronzeville, question for you
So
then.
go ahead,
Oh,
sir.
you it's just you are against Mr. Fantastic objectifying all women on the internet, or can he objectify women that are highly provocative, OnlyFans model, Instagram models? Do you have a problem with like the complete overall objectification, or is just the women that are not exposed like that?
So I have a problem with men in general objectifying women on the internet when the woman didn't ask to be objectified in that manner, right? I've seen Mr. Fantastic do it uh in real time on the Voice of Venus's show, right? To where he made a sexual reference to her on her show called No Good Suckers, to where he said, well, you'll have to use two hands on me and something to that effect, right? Um, Obviously she didn't come out and say, well, you know, that was improper, Mr. Fantastic. But a lot of the queens, the ladies, the women, they're not gonna just come out and flat out and give their displeasure with such advances, right? As men, we got to do a better job at being leaders and setting the examples when it comes to um righteousness, right? When it comes to doing the right thing and raising our standards, right? That's why what I'm saying is have some self-discipline, have some self-respect, and respect the queens, the ladies, the women the same way you do your mothers or your daughters.
Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah, that's no, that's kind of weird. Again, for me to say have any type of sexual involvement or thought towards my mother or my daughter would be sickening. I think everybody would agree with that. And as far to the point of you referencing with Venus, again, man, adults have the right to joke. Again, I didn't say anything vulgar. I left it up to the imagination and the person, and I'm amazed that something that was meant for women you picked up on. So whatever. But hey, it is what it is. You know, hey, everybody has their thing, right? Live your truth. But the whole thing of it is, again, my opponent is coming from a moral standard, okay, and those changes. A Christian's moral standard is different from a Muslim's moral standard, or you know what I'm saying, Hindu, and all these different things. So again, the fallacy in his argument is the standard of morality changes per person. It's not even just from a nationality or cultural aspect of it. He has a poor argument because he's not going to be able to substantiate it because it's not never going to be the same across the board.
The question for both of y'all, Bronzeville goes first, Fantastic goes first. Is it okay to sexualize an Instagram model or an OnlyFans model or a woman that portrays themselves as highly sexualized, lingerie, booty showing, twerking? Is that okay to sexualize those type of woman? Bronzeville first, and then Mr. Fantastic afterwards.
So, I mean, in today's society, in general, people will probably say it's okay, right? Because
Mhm.
we're living under a society to where men have not yet decided to recalibrate their value system and remove sex, lust, and degeneracy from the top, right? So, for most men who are under that status, they'll have no problem with objectifying an Instagram model just simply for her wearing skimpy clothes or selling sex, right? They are the demanders when it comes to that. They're demanding it and she's providing it. So obviously they're going to objectify it. What I'm calling for men to do is to recalibrate, right? To stop putting sex, lust, and degeneracy at the top. Stop demanding it from the outside market, right? Date with intention, hold yourself to a higher moral standard, and then right, you'll see the woman naturally acquiesce to how the men are moving, and the supply will start to dry up.
Let me clarify again just to make sure I got your answer. You think it's not okay for men to sexualize women that show themselves sexually on the internet? You're not okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with it.
Okay, just to make sure. Mr. Fantastic, do you agree? Disagree? What's your
Yeah,
point?
disagree, of course. Again, men and women are sexual creatures by nature. Without sexual urges, without sex, there could be no human race. There could be no species at all. It's like this morality standpoint that my opponent keeps coming from. Has direct ties with the Bible, right? And again, be fruitful and multiply is one of the most famous quotes that people like to use, right? But you put a little bit more context in that, and the problem, the issue is that again, these women are leveraging sex for their success. Again, these women are leveraging sex for their success, be it monetary, be it them being provided for or protected, being them having a child and using a child as a means of income, government subsidies, all these different things. Furthermore, again, the morality thing, he has to go somewhere else for this because again, morality will never be the same across the board. You take 10 different men, you'll get 10 different answers about what and should not be done with women or otherwise.
So any of the moderators want to ask something about this topic?
Well, I'll respond real quick to that, Fatty, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So once again, right, my opponent, Mr. Fantastic, he's well versed when it comes to sex and sexual objectification, right? Like that's his specialty. So obviously he's gonna fight hard to be able to do that and to be able to subject other people who may or may not want to be objectified in that manner, right? But the overarching point is this. He brought up the Bible, and a lot of people bring up the Bible and they want to talk about be fruitful and multiply. But a lot of people also like to ignore when God said that you need to leave your mother and father and cleave to your wife so y'all can be joined as one flesh, right? So before the sexual objectification comes, the commitment should come first. That's what Mr. Fantastic is failing to realize. And although he wants to use sex and say, well, you talking family? No, I was just talking about a baseline of respect, my brother. You heard what I said. I said respect.
So, just for clarification, Mr. Fantastic, you are okay with objectification, sexual objectification on the internet?
I'm for adult people doing adult things that are legally available to them and it's legal. Okay, I'm for legality. My morals. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll repeat the question because Brownsville specifically said he is against it outside of basically marriage, the biblical stance of it. I'm trying to figure out what is your direct position. Are you directly against it or you are just indifferent?
I'm indifferent. Again, I don't, me personally, like I said, the objectification that he keeps accusing me of, I don't have an understanding for the most part. Again, I'm a grown man. So there are some things that I look at. Okay. Now I'm a man. I'm a straight man. Okay. Healthily straight man that's single and free from a 10-year marriage. So I have to objectify women if I'm going to deal with women, you know what I'm saying, in any type of relationship or sexual nature. He again, my opponent already conceded this argument. I don't understand how he's still making it when he admitted that he does the same thing. He just added a term to it. What do you call it? Legal lust. Okay. So again, if he's something he agreed to, he agrees to the same principle. He just says because he has a wife, it's okay. So I don't know why we're having this discussion still. He's already conceded. He's always conceded that argument.
I don't know. I don't know if he conceded that.
Sharon Bracy. Okay, so
the truth is, Team Fatty, I didn't concede anything in that regard. I put it plainly. I talk in plain English. I don't know why Mr. Fantastic doesn't understand what I'm saying, right? When I'm speaking plainly. When it comes to the dating market, Mr. Fantastic, between a man and a woman, what my message for men to do is to date with intention, right? Don't lead with sex or objectifying a woman, but lead with morality, lead with what you guys can agree upon in terms of personality, lead with what your vision and plan to see if y'all have a joint vision and plan in terms of goals, right? But when you get on the internet and you want to lead with just lust and objectification, that explains why you're not getting the outcomes as the men who are married and happily married, right? So I've watched you on several occasions, not with just the voice of Venus, where you sexually objectify her, but also when it comes to women who are in other relationships. You criticize their looks, you call women H's and B's and all these different kind of things. So what I'm calling for you to do, Mr. Fantastic, is to undergo some reflecting in the way that you're behaving and speaking in regards to women who, some of them are in relationships and some of them are not. But all of them, by and large, don't appreciate being objectified by a random man on the internet. Now, if you don't understand that, maybe you're not doing a good enough job of listening to the females who you are interacting with, right? Because I watched you when you was talking to Osa and his woman, right? You got into a heated confrontation with them in which you tore down her looks. Why was that necessary, Mr. Fantastic? This is the problem, right?
You ask him a question, Brownsville. Let him go because you two minutes.
And he went for 3. He actually went for 3 minutes.
Yes,
cool.
I got you.
Yeah, cool. So again, brother, I'm an adult, and if I'm offended, I have the right to respond in kind. My looks are brought up, so I brought up her looks. Again, every woman's not attractive to me, just like every woman's not attractive to you. But you because you have a brand you're trying to build, or rhetoric you go by, you will never admit that. Pretty much, every woman is not beautiful. Every woman is not a queen. For the most part, again, it's the minority of women that are beautiful, and even a smaller minority that would be quote unquote whatever queens are. Again, I have to now get the attention of you and one of the mods. He did concede when he agreed that he does the things he's accusing me of, be he married or not. He agreed to lusting after his wife. His man completely keeps telling me that I can't do it simply because I'm married. I'm not married. And somehow in his head, he thinks I'm not getting the outcome I want. When again, I've been married before, sir. Okay. I am now single. I have the right to do any and everything I want. I don't need no permission slips. I don't have to check in with nobody. I do what I want as a straight, okay, again, straight free man. All right. And I don't understand how, again, this is what we call the penis policing is going on, to where this man, I guess he's trying to be my dad or my something. I don't even know what it is, where he's just this thing about what I need to do. I don't know how old this gentleman is, but I'm 40 years old. I don't have a criminal record. I had a pretty successful career for the most part. I'm retired. I have a home. I have a family. I have children. All these different things. So again, until this man can show me something to where he has anything above or over me other than a wife, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand where it's coming from. I don't understand all this life advice he's trying to give me, when again I'm in the place where I am and I'm getting any and everything I want out of life, especially again when it comes to women. Okay, in the relationships I have. The women I have the relationship with that I'm dealing with, hey, they love it. Okay, all right. The sexual objectification that we both partake in because they are attracted to me as I'm attracted to them. Hey, so again, this is another point too. He's making it like it's these one-sided thing to where women have no sexual desire. All of the mods, I've covered this on my channel personally. Okay, specifically, there are women that are lusting after prisoners. They talk about having children with prisoners and being in a relationship with prisoners, murderers, deleters, mass deleters, and all these different things. So again, if women can show that type of vigor and just lose their control and objectify the worst of men, there should be no issue or problem with any straight man objectifying an attractive woman he sees on the internet or in person. Okay, all relationships start with some type of physical attraction, which pretty much comes to the objectification he keeps talking about.
So clarifying, you see nothing wrong with sexually objectifying.
Being that sexual objectifying is a part of starting a relationship or being attracted to a woman, yes, I don't see a problem with it. No.
Gotcha.
I have a couple of questions to Bronzeville, right? Bronzeville, how is Mr. Fantastic a loser by your own metrics after he explained what he explained? Like, how do you, a man with a family, military, retired, house, car, kids. How does he qualify as a loser in your eyes?
So I never called him a loser.
Okay,
Or
so
considered him
clear
to
it
be a
up
loser.
because let's try to be fair. Like, what do you think? Because it sounds like you refer to him as a failure, right? Or like, what is this failure that you are talking about? Can you elaborate on that?
Okay, so based on his own admission, right? He says that he was married, but he's not
Mm,
no longer married, which
mm.
means that at some point in his life, he got a divorce, right? Now, I think all of the moderators and all of the audience would agree that a divorce represents a failed relationship, right? So, in that regard, when it comes to a relationship, he is a failure. That's plain and simple. Now, in regards to his other endeavors where he's been successful, congratulations to him. I'm not going to take anything away from him in that regard. But we will understand this right here, Team Fatty, that our experiences and our outcomes also help shape our perspectives and our ideology in life, right? So when you have a person who has experienced relationships in a failed way, it's much easier for him to express himself with a failed ideology towards women, right? So that's what you're hearing from Mr. Fantastic. He's saying, okay, yes, it's perfectly fine for a man to just sexually objectify a woman on the internet. You haven't heard Mr. Fantastic speak to any of the virtues of a woman the way I did, right? I said, hey, you should be trying to get to know her, get to know her character, get to know the interests that y'all have alike. Find out what her vision is and see if it aligns with your vision. Mr. Fantastic didn't speak to any of that. But when it was his turn to speak, the first thing he talked
Gotcha.
about, once again, is sex, right? So it's clear to the audience and the moderators, right? What I'm saying is based on fact. We're living in a society when it comes to these rim brothers,
Brownsville,
where
Brownsville, don't go
they
there. Don't go there for now. You did 2 minutes. Mr. Fantastic has a chance 2 minutes too. Let's not go there for now. Okay, go ahead,
Hey,
Fantastic.
I'm just hey, can the mods keep track of the time? He's actually
No,
on
no, no.
40.
I'm having correct over time, so you can have the 2 minutes. And if you don't use the 2 minutes, I'll give you more time the next time you rebuttal.
Yes, cool. So again, he's coming from a morality perspective, brother. Again, the majority of relationships fail. Be they business, be they casual, be they platonic, be they family. Again, you're coming from a superiority place to where, brother, we don't know if you're going to be divorced tomorrow. So would you have the same rhetoric as you being a failure if you were to get divorced a year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now? That makes no sense. Again, you're coming from a place of superiority to say, because I'm doing it, I'm somehow better. Brother, there are people that are, do you not agree? And you always talk about the fact of the matter that women are being abused, right? So as a woman that stays in an abusive marriage, is that a successful marriage? Again, we get on this slippery slope. We make very, very poor arguments, right, that have little to no basis whatsoever, as the simple act of going down to the courthouse or going to a church and getting a license. All a marriage is a licensed relationship. Okay, brother? So again, I'm going to say this, and especially too, are you truly married if your marriage is open? We haven't talked about that. Let's talk about open marriages, brother. I would like your opinion on that directly. So is a man that is married to a woman but has the option to have sex with other women within that marriage, is he really married? Is he really this person? How is he not lustful? How is he not sexually objectifying women when he can't choose just one? Okay, so again, brother, if we want to go down this road of morality, it's never going to end up like you do. Again, black women specifically are the only demographic, brother. So we want to make that point. I'm a victim. Okay, I'm a victim of the status quo of statistics of black women being the only demographic that have a higher divorce rate than marriage rate. Okay, so again, that's what I'm saying. This is where we start getting into the numbers part of it. If the women are the people that initiate 70% of divorces, how can any man be at fault?
Let's go one by one. First, Brownsville, answer the first question. Is it an open marriage where a woman can have sex with other men a successful marriage, in your opinion?
I don't believe in polygamy, no.
What about a marriage where the woman is getting abused but stays?
That's a failed marriage, and obviously that's a failed husband, right? So I would definitely encourage one of my female family members or any of the females in my life to get out of that situation where you're being abused. 100%.
So do you retract the statement that being married is equal to sex? Like, do you retract the statement or you maintain the
No,
statement?
no, because what I said was being happily married is the success standard. Now, unless you can show to me, right, to where there's another type of relationship that is the success standard in this world or in this country, then I will concede.
Brownsville, what if I'm happily married by letting my woman fuck other men? What if you said if happiness is the standard? What if I have a wife and we both are happy going to a swingers club and fucking other people and letting other people fuck our partners? Would you consider that a success?
Right. So what, like I said, within a marriage, right? What is successful to someone else, that's on
No,
them. If
the
both
question is
the
the question
husband,
is to you. Now, Brownsville, the
I'm
question is
answering
to
the
you.
question, Fatty.
Go ahead.
Did you ask me a yes or no question?
I ask you, yes, it was a yes or no answer, and then expound, please. I'm going to
Okay.
restart the clock. Go ahead.
So what was the question again?
The question was, you said happiness is the thing that defines the successful of a marriage or not, right? So if I have a wife and we are happy by sharing each other with other people outside of our marriage, is that considered in your metric? Because you said happiness is the metric that considers success. Are you considering that a successful marriage if we are happy by sharing?
That would be successful to them. It's not successful to me though.
So where is the happiness thing again?
Right. So
Yeah.
what we're talking about, Team Fatty, right? We talk about relationships all the time, right? And one thing we can all agree upon is when it comes to relationships, the golden standard is a successful, happy marriage. That's always been the golden standard since the beginning of time in terms of relationships, right? It's only now to which we want to parse it out and try to invalidate it and all these different kind of things and add other different types of relationships and make it seem like it's the same success standard. No, the success standard is for a man to find a wife to cleave to and for them to ride off in the sunset. That's in all cultures, right? So we're not just going to dumb it down just because we're black and we love degeneracy.
Yeah. So, but
Right there.
you said the standard of successful is successful, happy marriages, right? Fatty
Right.
then gave you an example of what is perceived as a happy marriage. You agreed that is a happy marriage, but it's not a happy marriage to you, which changes the word happiness to subjective now. So then that means there's not a agreement amongst the masses because you made it subjective to your individual discretion of what happiness is. So perhaps we need to zero down on what happiness is or remove it as a standard if it's not agreed upon.
I see your point, and you're right, Aaron. So I would remove happiness and put successful, right? Because in order for us to gauge what is success, and Mr. Fantastic, he brings up the divorce statistics, right? Well, the opposite of the divorce statistics is the marriage statistics. So if we're going to utilize the stats to say what is a failure, which is divorce, which he claimed that black woman is setting a black man up for standard by being the highest in regards to divorce, then he will also have to concede that we have to utilize those who are staying in marriages as the success standard.
One moment, Patty, one moment. Now, staying in marriage as a success, when Fatty gave you an example of somebody that was abused but stayed in their marriage, you denied that success.
That's correct, Aaron, because that's a nuance, right? Okay. So in every situation, Aaron, we can always go to the nuance, right? We can always go to the specific instance or the specific situation in which a man and woman would decide to split up, right? Physical abuse is one of them. we all know that domestic abuse is not only improper, it's a crime, right? So we're not advocating for a woman to stay in relationships where crimes are being committed. That's just illogical.
So
real quick, Fatty. So fine, I would agree, but it invalidates the statement of staying in a marriage is the success factor. There is no agreed upon standard on what a successful marriage is and what a happy marriage is up to this point. One of the two of you need to present an argument that solidifies your point to being right or wrong, or this other person's point as being wrong.
Okay, so it should be on me now.
It is on you, Mr. Fancy.
Yes.
Can we just keep because my opponent here is y'all, we know
once-
long witness. He's getting 3 and 4 minutes on average. All I'm getting is 2. I'm taking my 2. I'm keeping mine within the time constraint. So can we get him to, you know what I mean, be time?
Yes, so we are going to enforce the 1 minute mark. And fantastic. You get 2 extra minutes.
At the same time, no, the moderator,
But-
Aaron O was at the same time. Aaron O was going with a back and forth with Brown. He wasn't overextending the time limit. He was just it was a 3-part question. It wasn't.
He was on his third. He was on his third minute when
The moderators got this. We're not stopping you. You could go over 3 minutes. Nobody's stopping you as long as you're making your point. Both parties is going over the time. Both parties, as long as you're making your point, that's all that really matters.
It's great, cool. So I'll still keep mine concise, even though there's no time limits. Thank you for that clarification. So again, first and foremost, as Aaron said, there is successful. Successful is subjective. That's the issue and problem. I told you from the beginning of my opening statement, this would be my opponent's only tactic. That's the only thing he has. Again, you guys gave him several situations and he double talked. He contradicted himself. He said, "Oh well, hold on. A person that's in an open marriage, that's not successful." But then Fatty asked the question, a rightful question. Okay, well, if that's agreed upon, how is it not successful? If they're happy, how is it not successful? So that's why you can't use these subjective words. Now, again, getting back to the numbers. Again, the wonderful thing about divorce is you're not divorced until you are. Everybody's married as long as they're married. So again, that's another horrible premise to stand it on. That's why we have divorces. Okay, in order for you to get a divorce, you must first be married. But if the marriage doesn't make it, then you have a divorce. So again, poor, very, very poor argument. No substance or anything behind it. He's referencing the numbers, but my opponent doesn't even know the numbers. Okay, he doesn't even know this. Again, like I'm gonna say this again. Black women are the only demographic of women that have a higher divorce rate than marriage rate. What does that tell you? It tells you a lot. So again, black men are being coupled to people that aren't quote unquote marriage minded. Another thing, he keeps putting up these scenarios as to where the woman is the victim, but not the man. Do men not get abused? Then we know again, black women also have a very, very high number of LGBT identifiers. What is the highest rate of domestic violence? Oh, women on women couples. All right. And there have been a number of within the last couple of years where women have been, deleted by women that, they're in relationships with romantic, lesbian relationships. So again, he's coming from this thing where it's the men. And he has not one time addressed it where the woman could be the,
Your microphone is muffled. I don't know what happened there. For
Something
1 sec. Yeah, no. I think it's a little bit too close. Yes. You mean yes? You're good. You're good.
Okay, cool. So let me wrap it up. So again, he's never not one time brought up the woman being the, the perpetrator or the punisher, only the victim. I would like my opponent to give a situation as to where the woman could be wrong or the woman could be the aggressor.
Can we keep the conversation on straight relationships? Because
that was the question. That was the question that he asked. Yes. Can you give me an example where the woman is the perpetrator? You can answer the question directly.
So no, what I'm saying is that because he went through from a straight heterosexual relationship to a woman on woman relationship where it doesn't have anything to do with the conversation that we are having now. I'm just saying keep it strictly on heterosexual marriages because it's a different relationship when we add in.
That's cornering. No. Hold on, I gotta explain this. I have to explain this. No, now you're cornering the argument. His premise was marriage. Are non-straight marriage is not legal. And again, remember, he used the term lust legally. So he set the basis for me to be able to bring it in because he brought up legality. Okay, same-sex marriage is legal, so therefore you cannot eliminate it. You cannot say let's stay away from that. No, that's a bias. It's a clear question we're talking about marriage, so it's valid.
Go ahead, Brownsville. Is that any situation where a woman is culprit or is her fault when a marriage or a relationship fails?
Absolutely.
Oh, one
The
second. That was the
woman,
question, right? Fantastic. Am I
Yes, that's
okay?
yeah. But give
Okay.
no. Give an example. Give solid examples, please.
Go ahead,
so
Bronze.
absolutely, there's instances to where women can be at fault. So reason why a marriage doesn't last. It could be her being physically abusive to her husband. It could
Hmm.
also be her violating the trust in a marriage and being unfaithful, right? So a woman can absolutely be a culprit with what and reason why a marriage fails as well. But I want to get to a point that he made, which everyone here knows is just a straight up fallacy. He said success is subjective, right? Now, we all know we're smarter than that, Aaron O, right? You're going to tell me that success is subjective, right? That there's not winners and losers in
Let,
life, in
let,
society, to where we can just say, oh, well, success can be what I deem it to be. So if I'm out there making $5 an hour, I'm successful, right? I'm
let,
just as successful
let
as
me
a
ask you a
guy
question,
making a
Bronzeville.
$1,000 an hour.
Let me
Come
ask
on,
you a question.
it's ridiculous when we
Let me ask
go
you
ahead, go ahead, Fatty.
let me ask you a quick. Can you be successful married?
Can you be successfully
Yeah,
married?
just yes or no quick question. Can you be
Yes,
successful? Can you be
absolutely.
unsuccessful married?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you be successful single?
Yes,
Can you be unsuccessful single?
yes.
Can you be successful divorced?
The so that's a nuanced question, Team Fatty. So the
No, and my
divorce,
question is my
the
question is can is that possible or probable that the divorced person is still happy about whatever
yes,
as is
yes,
going on?
yes.
What
You
about
can,
can you be unsuccessful by being divorced?
yes.
So what is the baseline that you are using by saying I am married, there's a proof I'm successful, when your argument is kind of everybody can be successful even if you are single, divorced, widowed, whatever. Like, why is that the baseline of the point? And Aaron, you can clarify if you want to before he goes.
I want to let
Because
him. You want to let him
Fatty,
go.
Fatty,
Hmm.
the baseline is the topic that we're talking about, which is a relationship, right? So
Hmm.
we understand when we're talking about a relationship, since the beginning of time, the gold standard, right? The outcome that is suggested for everyone to have is to find someone to marry, find somebody to grow old with, find somebody that's willing to support you just as much as you support them, right? That has been the gold standard forever. But I get it. We're living in a society now to where other people are moving a goalpost in terms of relationships. And they're saying, well, there's another standard that we should aspire to find. What I'm saying is, I still believe in the original gold standard, which is finding someone that's worthy of marriage that you can ride off in a sunset with.
That's fair. Last question before we move on. Have you ever lusted over someone? I don't say that you act on it, but have you ever lusted someone that is not your wife? Going on IG or whatever, Facebook, seeing a big booty, damn. Like, have you ever objectified or look as a woman as a sexual object that he was not your wife?
Yes, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I've never had lust in my mind, right?
Hmm?
The difference is I make a conscious decision not to act on my lust, right? I'm human, just like you, Fatty, just like Mr. Fantastic. We all are going to fight the same battles when it comes to lust and all of these different negative things. But it's not um how we it's not that we do succumb to it, it's how we respond to it, right? And what I'm saying is you should not respond to lust by actively engaging in it. You should have enough self-discipline to fight it off.
Okay, okay. Let me make a little bit of a break for the commercials. A little bit. We are 1 hour and 50 minutes in. There's 705 750 people watching in all platforms. Okay. Shout out to every single one of you. Please like the video. The cash apps are on bottom to support the content creators. I'm going to read a couple of super chats above $20, and then we go right back to the show. Okay, Theo with 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Theo. I appreciate you.
Untouchable Empire, baby.
Theo, salute to you, salute to you, salute to you. Once again, all the Cash App super chats that are below $20 are going to be read in the end of the show. Valerie, of course, with the $50. Thank you very much for the support to this debate, Valerie. I appreciate it much. And finally, I'm going to read this. Maybe I'm going to save it for the questions. Brownsville, you talk about objectifying, but is your wife the only woman? Okay, woman you smash. Do you have any kids? Not with her. Did you objectify the woman you? Whoa. Oh, you eat before her. Is your cousin a failure and objectifies by making single mom? So we're going to save this one for the questions. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Red Pill Ranger. And we are going to go back to the conversation. Once again, you guys can activate the shadow realm. The shadow realm, $100, and is a no holds bar for 20 minutes, and debate timer stops completely. So I'm going to restart the clock, and I actually have a question to Mr. Fantastic to switch these real quick. Okay, so let's start here now. Mr. Fantastic, if you had to pick one, okay, and I know it's an unfair question, but you have to pick one when it comes to put the major brunt of the blame to what is happening right now to the dating market, would you consider that the man is the biggest culprit, or would you put the onus for the most part on the woman? 2 minutes, and then Brownsville has the chance to rebuttal, and then we go from there 1 minute at a time. Okay, go ahead.
I would say it's on the women. Again, the women are leveraging sex, as I said earlier, in order to get what they want out of men. And they're leveraging the opportunity of sex, RP, ARC, right? To where they're dangling the carrot in front of men that they have absolutely no physical attractiveness to, or any, even any sexual desire or interest at all. So when this happens, you have men that get disheartened, they feel used, and it comes to the point as to where they either go elsewhere and try to fulfill their, sexual and intimate desires with women, or it's just the point, no matter where they get to the point of where, hey, there are men that got it for free before me, so I refuse to pay the price when I know someone's out there is getting a better deal. So yeah, I'm going to put it on the women because, again, the women have changed the dynamic of the sexual marketplace.
How did women change the sexual marketplace?
OnlyFans, Instagram, Cash App, what's the Snapchat, private snaps, all these different things, again, to where they use sex for profit. Okay, even not, and that's not even including the adult industry, where it's what's the name? These are individualistic women that purposely use their bodies and their sexuality in order to profit from. So that's how.
And it was a space where men was using their bodies for profit, for sex.
How?
I'm asking you.
Not a major one that I can recall. No.
So it's always been an adult scenario for women, correct?
No. Again, I made specific to say about the individual basis, to where women are able to advertise themselves on a global scale now. A woman, let's say, even 30 years ago did not have the footprint and the ability to be profit from her sexual access as a regular everyday woman. That's why I said on an individual basis in mass.
Bronzeville, do you disagree?
Yeah, I disagree with Mr. Fantastic. Look, you know, the way he answered the question, once again, I'm not surprised. He went right to promiscuity and sex and all of that kind of thing, right? And what I do understand, because he brings up you know, OnlyFans, and he brings up all of those things, which are controlled by men, I might add. We live in a patriarchal society. Can Mr. Fantastic tell me who the owner of OnlyFans is? Is it a woman?
Man,
I'm not sure, but I'm willing to concede that it's a man. But go ahead.
Okay, so can you tell me, by and large, who owns more strip clubs, men or women?
Again, more men or women, but again, do you come into supply and demand? If women refuse to work in the strip
No,
clubs,
I
they're being
asked a simple question: Who owns more strip clubs, men or women?
Men own the majority of all businesses on the planet.
Okay, but see, now you're trying to move the goalpost. We're talking specifically about the things that you mentioned, where you're trying to blame women for, right? And all I'm talking about is those same women that you're blaming for these industries were not created by women, right? So what's happening here is this is just another example of women acquiescing to the way men are moving. When men are saying, hey, we're prioritizing opening strip clubs. Hey, we're prioritizing valuing OnlyFans. Hey, we're prioritizing opening brothels, right? And the women see that. Obviously, they're going to acquiesce to that because we're living in a patriarchal society, right? So if men are controlling the industry, right, we can't then blame the woman for just fulfilling their role in a patriarchal industry.
You want to intervene, or can we? I have a question, but you want to intervene before?
No, I want a rebuttal.
Go ahead, you got this.
So to give context of what he said before, yes, men own it, but again, if the women don't work the industry, there is no industry. Furthermore, again, you're making the argument for the women when the women have the choice to participate or not. Okay, her body, her choice, correct? You keep making the same argument when you're acting like the woman is being forced. Women are not being forced into these industries. And furthermore, I have a question for you. You asked me a question.
Yeah, fantastic. Your audio went.
Your mic is a little muffled.
Yeah, it's like he's muffled. Like I heard the.
He's nervous. That's all.
Well, no, yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're great. Yeah, you're great now. Like it sounded like he was underwater for a second, but you're good.
What's happening? But anyway, so my question to you: do you believe that most women are whores? Do you believe that most women are promiscuous?
No.
All right. So if it's not the majority of women, why is it such a factor that the women that choose to do it, the minority of women that choose to do it, are adult women and they make the choices they want to make for their lives?
No, you made that argument. By blaming them, you're saying that the women are doing the OnlyFans and the women are objectifying themselves in this man market, and they're providing the supply, right?
Okay.
And what you're not understanding is the demand.
Same way you did me. That's enough. Hold on. You cut me off, and now you answered the question to what. So now let me finish it up. So again, so you agree with me then. You're okay with women making the choice. You just said it. Well, they're doing it. They're agreeing to do it. So if you agree with the woman's right to be able to do this and participate in these things, okay, which goes completely, totally against your morality argument you're making from the joint. You just want to, again, you want to hold the men accountable, but you don't want to choose the minority of women because the majority of women aren't participating. Clearly, we all agree with that. They're not. It's not 51% of women out here on OnlyFans are in the sex industry. Okay.
So are you saying that? So your argument is that the minority of women are using this sexual liberation to change the marketplace? It's not the majority?
No. I'm not saying the minority of women are using it in the sexual marketplace. I'm saying the minority of women overall.
Because the conversation started with you saying that women changed the marketplace.
They did.
But now you're saying it's only a small minority of women that did it.
Yeah, but still, that, like I said, that minority of women have an impact on a global impact more than the majority of women. So if one woman has, well, I don't know why you're confused, but let me help you out. So a one woman that has 1 million followers, let's say on Instagram, right? Does she not have more impact and more reach than the local woman that doesn't have an Instagram at all? That's a yes or no question to the mod that try to interject.
I was just getting clarification to where the
Well, I'm
conversation
asking you the
went from
question.
to now. So I'm not trying to
clarifying.
involve myself into the
No,
conversation,
you
but I'm
asked the
just
question. So hold on, no. Well, I mean, well, my other mods cleared me up. Again, y'all asked clarity. We were able to go back and forth.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah,
It's
so
fine.
I'm asking you. So that's why I asked you the question.
I'm the moderator. You don't need to ask me.
Sharon is correct.
What you can't ask the mod. So
He's
okay, cool.
Sharon is asking clarified questions. You don't then need to turn into asking him questions.
Okay, cool. So either way, so re-ask your question, please, one time. Re-ask your question to me.
You started your statement saying that women change the sexual marketplace. And when you were saying women, I was assuming that you meant majority. Usually that's what we mean when we say women. We're not saying all, it's majority. And then now the conversation has moved down the line. You're saying the minority of women change the sexual marketplace.
Cool. So my rebuttal and my point is, so I can't answer the question. I'll clarify this way. A woman that has global reach to 1 million men, followers, whatnot, what have you, is far more impactful than the one woman that has no Instagram, no social media, so on and so forth. So even though it may be the minority of women, that is not equivalent to the minority of impact or the minority of effect on the dating market as a whole. Like you guys said, like I told you earlier, you have these women that are profiting from sex. These women don't just have 1, 2, 3. These women have hundreds and thousands and some millions of followers. Again, they're profiting from these men, individual women. Okay. That again, if you go back 30 years or even further, was impossible because social media and these visual things that men pay for and sexually objectified did not exist. That's why the premise of this argument makes no sense.
So you're saying that one woman that has 1 million followers that is selling the representation of sex, she changed the dating marketplace for the majority of women?
So no, a combination of those one women. So if one woman has 1 million, then you get 10 women that have 1 million. Now you have 10 women that count for 10 million examples of reach or things of reach because they have those amounts of followers. Again, this was not possible before the social media era. Men were limited to the women that were in their actual vicinity. You know what I'm saying? And they actually had knowledge of. You couldn't just reach out and see a woman that you in Bangladesh or a woman in Argentina or whatever.
How did those 10 women change the dating market? Because that explains the business side of it, but how did that change the actual dating market?
It changed the dating market because now those men are using this woman from a digital standpoint versus dealing with women on a physical standpoint. And then you have more women that are encouraged by this woman that's in the digital world and they see the profit she's making. So she's drawing more women out of the physical market to the digital market. And that's taken away from men's opportunity of having actual fruitful real life relationships. Because more women, hold on, my bad.
No, it's fine. I just want Brownsville. Do you agree with his point that one woman, 1 million followers, another one are polluting the market?
No. And I want to ask Mr. Fantastic a clarifying question.
Before you go, what about if he told Andrew Tate and Kevin Samuels change the dating market and they are just one person, each one with 1 million followers, and they change the whole circumstance? Would you accept that, or would you say no, they had no impact because it's just one person with 1 million followers?
No, I wouldn't agree that they've changed the entire market.
No, not the entire market. No, the entire market, the dating market.
Right, the dating market. No.
Okay, that's totally fair.
Yes,
ask the clarifying question
Mr. Fantastic a clarifying question, right? Because Mr. Fantastic, you blame women for the dismantling of the dating market, and you mentioned OnlyFans and sexual liberation and things like that, right? So I want to ask you something. What comes first in general, demand or supply?
Demand.
Right. So if there's a demand for something, right, and then somebody supplies what you're asking for, can we then blame the supplier for the overarching issue?
And I answered that wrong, but I gotta go this way. So no, you can't demand the supplier as long as you have the thing. But
No. It was a yes or no question. I didn't understand if you said yes or no.
Well, no, I misspoke actually, but I said demand, but it should have been supply. Because supply, you can't have a demand without a supply.
No, listen. So maybe you're not understanding the question, right? So let me ask it again, right? I asked you, which comes first, demand or supply? You said demand, right? And
Yeah,
then
but
I asked you point blank. I said, if you are demanding something and then somebody supplies you what you then have demanded, can you come back and blame the supplier for the improprieties of the situation, the outcome of the situation in which you demanded?
no, and that's why I say I misspoke. So I need to correct myself in that situation. The supply then demand.
Wait, one second. Bronzeville, is okay to be a like a drug dealer, since that's because like you guys are getting to a dangerous territory, right? So I can like this is I shouldn't insert my opinion, but I will, and I apologize if
No,
it isn't.
absolutely. Don't insert your opinion.
No,
Let the-
okay. Actually, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yes.
I want
Even
to.
though,
I
but
want
the demand and supply is not on drugs. The demand and supply is on a very specific thing. It's not on drugs.
Hey, now don't insert your opinion either. Both
absolutely.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, that's fine. I'm not. One second.
Anybody,
One second.
before anybody said anything, I said I misspoke and I need to change the answer. That's why I said I need to change this. And again, you cannot have again, if you don't know, if a car was never made, there was no demand for a car before the car was made. People didn't know what cars were. People didn't know what airplanes were. So there was the Wright brothers didn't make and that's why I'm clarifying this and I'm making it clear. Most inventions are invented, then people buy into them. People aren't asking. No one asks for the cell phone.
Now, can you apply that same logic to the dating market?
No, Sharon, I got you. I got you. With 1 second, friends. Without me inserting my opinion, is Big Pharma responsible for the opioid crisis?
Yes.
And I use a legal term. Brownsville, is Big Pharma responsible or as a major role to the opioid crisis?
This don't have nothing to do with dating.
No, he actually asked, Mr. Moderator. Does Big Pharma does Big Pharma responsible for like a huge part of the opioid crisis?
So I would say, yes, they are hugely responsible for the opioid crisis.
Okay, it's just for a clarifying question, so I can situate myself into this conversation. You can go ahead, Sharon, and ask the question or intervene.
No, I think Fantastic was doing well. Trying to substantiate his argument about the demand and supply in relationship, not drugs, not big pharma. Keep it on men and women relationships instead of trying to.
Okay, cool. So from a relationship standpoint, we're talking about the sex industry, though, right? So again, that's why I say in that one, and it's nuance. I'll use my opponent said earlier. There's always going to be a demand for sex for men. So in that situation, as to where men want sex and men want women, yeah, the demand is there because the supply is always there. So it's kind of a moot question or a poor thing, and it's a good tactic that my I see now. That's why I had to rectify myself. So if we're talking about business, it's going to be supply then demand. But actually, so I didn't misspeak. If we're talking about relationships, it'll be demand and then supply, because again, men are always in demand for women and sex. So yeah, I hope I clarified that.
So that's the clarified question. This is why, friends, sometimes I have to ask some qualified questions to see if the people are consistent with their opinions. That's why we're doing this debate, right? Brownsville, do you think that women would be prostituting themselves, sexualizing themselves, and everything if we remove all the strip club owners, OnlyFans owners? If you remove every single man on a position of power that is facilitating the promotion of sex, and everything was sold to women, would be sold off to women, do you think that women will be continuing what they are doing right now, or do you think it would crash completely the economy of sexualization, prostitution, and all that, and we will go back to a more healthier society.
Yes, so it's my belief, Fatty, that if we totally remove the demand for degeneracy and sexual exploitation, then the
That was not
supply,
my
the supply
respectfully
would crumble.
respectfully, that was not my question. My question was gender based. You made the point in the beginning of this back and forth that men are responsible because men are built, but the owner of OnlyFans is a man, and most of the brothels are men. So you put the shift on the man, right? And my question is, if we tomorrow pass legislation to remove every single owner that is male from these industries, and if you completely plumb it down, we took OnlyFans, we took the brothels, we took everything, and we passed legislation that men can't do it, but women are free to do it. Do you think we would have a completely rest of society where we go back to basic prostitution, the street walkers and all that? Or you think is going to continue exactly the same that it is, and women will just occupy the spots of the men?
Yes, so I think if you dismantle the system of demand in that regard and what you stated, then that's going to have a catastrophic effect in terms of the supply of the sexual exploitation. So I actually agree with your argument there. Yes, if we was to dismantle the system that employs the sex industry, that is going to have a catastrophic effect to the supply.
Mr. Fantastic?
Was he done? I don't want to.
Yeah. He good.
So yeah, no, of course not. Like I said, we've seen this. There are women, madams. Heidi Fleiss, anyone? There are women. I forget what football team basketball team that was. Where did go to school at? But there's a famous thing over the last 5 years or so. A woman wrote a book about, again, women selling women for sexual business. We'll just say that, right? So again, my opponent has a poor understanding of the realities of life with any business, right? If someone, that's why you have these kingpins and different things and so on and so forth in different industries. Some person's in power for one thing, and then someone either has a bad break or something, and someone replaces them. That's the circle of life and the circle of business. So if he doesn't have a fundamental understanding that women have been prostituting since, the BC days, okay, well, a woman's bargaining chip for survival back in the Stone Age was giving the man sex. I mean, again, I don't know what we're talking about here.
Well, I'm talking plain English, right? And then you conceded that the demand comes first, right? So the reason why we have this issue and we'll continue to have this issue is because of the demand, not the supply. You see what I'm saying? The demand comes first, right? So if we eliminate the demand, then you won't have an argument. That's what I'm saying, right? So obviously you're speaking to the minority. Yes, so there's a minority of women who are owning the strip clubs and who are owning the brothels and who are pimps and all those and madams and all those different kind of things in which you suggested, right? But we know the majority of those in that position are men, right? So once again, you're going to a minority argument. But I got another question for you, Mr. Fantastic. You said on the SBG network not too long ago that by and large, the majority of Black women love to be treated and talked to in a toxic manner. Would you care to substantiate that argument?
Yeah, Black women and the entertainment they choose to partake in and support. Yeah.
No, not in entertainment. You said, and we clarified it, right? I asked you. I said, is this the minority of women that you're saying love to be treated in a toxic manner and talked to in a toxic manner, or the majority of women, right? We didn't specify entertainment. We specified women, right? Specifically Black women, right?
Yeah, and I answered your question, and I use entertainment and what they support in entertainment to justify my argument, to justify my answer. Right. I'm not saying go to entertainment. If Black women like things about where women are being sexualized and women are being objectified sexually and doing lewd sex acts, such as eating a man's anus. Okay, they pay money for stuff like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you would agree that's as it's disrespectful and as you could be. I'm just saying.
And you saying eating a man's anus is toxic? Is that what you're saying? Because he's talking about a toxic behavior is what he asked you about.
Well, you asked me about toxic behavior. I think most people would consider any woman that put her mouth on a man's anus toxic behavior.
And
Bronzeville.
so when,
Before you go there, Sharon, would you consider the toxic Bronzeville just to have a baseline?
I would consider it disgusting.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Sharon.
can we get a clarification?
Answer the question directly. He has to answer the question. Do you consider it toxic? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
So Brownsville, what is when you use the word toxic? So this way is a little bit more clear because it seems like it's broad. What do you mean by toxic?
So when in the conversation me and Mr. Fantastic had, and I framed it as disrespect, right? So I framed it as, hey, if I come home from work and I talk to my wife in a disrespectful manner by saying, hey, B, get in this kitchen and make my food now. That's the way the argument was framed. Mr. Fantastic then said, well, the majority of women enjoy being talked to that way and treated in that manner.
Okay, it's my turn. So, again, I'm just going by what black women say. You know what I mean? Personal conversations, internet conversations, the thing that black women are putting out here in the earth, right? I had a question I wanted to ask you. I'm trying to get it to come back to me, but what was it?
Don't get nervous, my brother.
I'm not. I don't need an interjection. I ain't interjecting you. So basically, it comes down to this. Yet again, we're on this moral argument thing, bro. So where whatever you deem to be, somehow you said something is disgusting, but not toxic. I would believe any man that asks or requests a woman to do anything to his anus is toxic, and any woman willing to do or voluntarily or involuntarily to a man's anus is toxic.
He said no. When he said toxic, because you turn toxic into a sexual act. He's not talking about anything sexual. He's talking about the way how you disrespect and speaking to a woman, saying, "Hey, bitch, make me some dinner." That is toxic. He's talking about that form of toxic, not in a sexual way. So can you substantiate that black women like to be spoken to in a disrespectful way, like you said on the show that he is referring to?
Okay, so even though, again, like I said, we're talking about the totalness and wholeness of black women, so I don't understand why we're excluding sex. Cool, fine. And sex acts, cool, fine. But yes, I still agree and stand on what I said because black women use the bitch word themselves. They call each other bitch. So if black women call each other bitch in mass, and for the majority,
no.
What are you saying?
Talking about toxic in a relationship. We talking about a man and a woman in a toxic relationship is what he said. He said, I tell my wife, bitch, make me some food. So that's not bringing into in between women. It's a toxic relationship.
You're trying to corner the
that's
argument.
The question that he asked.
No, you're trying to corner the thing. I'm talking about.
Can you answer the question? In a toxic relationship, do black women prefer toxic relationships?
I said yes, and I'm substantiating again what they do with each other. And the reason why you can't do this again is because we go back. Black women have a high rate of marriage to each other. So black women aren't only married to men. Black women are also married to black women and other women in a greater percentage than they represent in the country. So that's why you keep trying to eliminate the women as if there aren't same-sex relationships, and be it intimate or be it just platonic.
So yeah, I mean, that's his belief, right? And he's entitled to his belief. He's wrong, right? Just like a lot of the other things he says, he's flat out wrong.
Well, I gotta ask you, what am I wrong about? What am I wrong about?
You're wrong when you categorize the majority of women that want to be treated in a toxic way or talk to in a toxic way. When we know,
can I induce
that,
Google?
Google? Yes. So now
yes,
I
need him. Now I need him to substantiate anything he's saying with some type of numbers. Prove me wrong.
Okay, so now we are going to go to the tape.
Shit. Got your ass.
And again, the video is promotional. We didn't got him yet. Brownsville, is there any stat that you have that can substantiate what you say? Or do you want us to Google it and try to find the stat for that?
well, I mean, when it comes to toxicity, yes, you can find women who would say that they don't like being verbally abused. They don't like being physically abused. They don't like men who treat them in an aggressive manner. I don't understand the disconnect. I mean, if he's not willing to concede, surely the moderators will understand the distinction, right? It's not just women. I don't believe men, by and large, the majority of men love to be treated in a toxic manner, love to be abused verbally, love to be abused physically. None of those things. We don't in general love toxicity. But once again, that's the flawed narrative that Mr. Fantastic loves to perpetuate towards women, right? So you can easily just Google, hey, do women love toxic relationships? And I guarantee you, if you was to Google it right now, you know I'm at work, I'm on my phone, on the app talking to y'all, so I can't just go to Google and say, do women love toxic relationships? But I guarantee you, if one of the moderators go to Google and say, do women love toxic relationships? I'm willing to guarantee you that by and large, they'll tell you the majority of women do not love toxic relationships.
Okay, so the timer is stopped. I will literally type what you said. Do women love toxic relationships?
The majority of women.
Do the majority of women? There we go. Medium. Why do women often fall for this? Doesn't sound like a. Let me actually add study to see, because this is going to be difficult to prove. Less research.
I can save the mods some trouble. Again, listen, the issue and the problem, I asked that question because, again, this is a completely, totally opinionated thing that to where he is trying to come from a place of superiority and purity. None of the stuff he's talking about is quantifiable. These are all his opinions. So you're not going to fall.
I got a question, Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic, did you actually say on my show that majority of black women love toxic relationships? Did you say that?
That sounds like something I would say, yeah.
Okay, so that's the quantifiable part.
My point is, you're not going to find okay, a stat that does it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be. At best, you're going to find a study, or you're going to find a survey or something.
He's arguing. Fantastic is correct. So we don't need to spend a amount of time around on this. I just, for clarification, Brownsville challenged your position that black women love toxic relationships to the majority aspect, right? And your retort to that, well, what was your evidence?
My retort and my evidence was the media they support and the way they interact with themselves, be it intimate relationships or platonic relationships with women. Okay. That was the answer.
I think this one
arguing is my bad. Go ahead.
No, I think this one is difficult from some substantiate from both sides. But the use of the Google, you are going to find stats with women in average.
Hey, Fatty, can I ask a question? How many people are watching right now?
734.
So can we do a poll for the woman to answer?
No.
It's
biased. It'll get swayed anyway. It'll get swayed.
Yes, and you can confirm who is voting. Like you can enforce just woman voting on that poll. But just for
can you just do it like, let's say, because y'all know the women in the chat, just say, hey, put a 1 in the chat if you love toxic relationships. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't love toxic relationships.
Yeah, but Bronze.
Hold on, is he invoking his chat thingy? Help chat thing?
Are you sure? I don't think that's what
because he's asking the whole chat instead of.
I don't think that was the spirit. But you know what's funny, Brownsville? If there's a woman that wants to come up and give credence to his claim, we can use it totally fine. Just put a bunch of exclamation points on the chat, or tell the moderators that you want to intervene, and I'll drop the link so you guys can come up and defend Brownsville point. It would be actually very interesting to hear from y'all.
But it's not Brownsville's point. It's fantastic point that he was trying to clear.
Yeah, but there's the thing. Fantastic gave his opinion, and he told as an educated guest. Brownsville has no way to actually prove he's wrong.
But that's the problem. Fantastic can't prove it. Brownsville.
Yeah, but there's his opinion.
Not for me to prove.
Let's move on to whatever.
It's not for him to prove. If
it is because you don't want to. Hold on. It is for you to prove because you said it. But if you can't substantiate past what we already got to, then we got to just move on. Because you said what your point is. Brownsville said what his point is. You can't substantiate it. Ain't no Google situation for it.
He can't substantiate it. No, say it like you said it for me. He can't substantiate it either.
Respectfully. A lot of the things that we say right here, for example, men are leaders and women are followers, cannot be substantiated. Okay? Is a educated opinion about observation and a bunch of things, right? So if somebody has that opinion and the other person is saying you are wrong, right?
Let's just move on.
No, it's just for future. It's just for future reference.
Yeah.
It's the onus on that person to say, hey, I have this information and this disproves this educated opinion that he gave. Like, it's totally fair. Let's not fall into you have to bring status and studies to situations where there's no way we can produce data that substantiate our point. Just to make sure that doesn't happen what happened on the last show with the Jalen situation, where we're asking for stats when stats can be proven about pickup artists being worse than people that are pushing for relationships.
If we could get clarification on what toxic is, then we could give supporting evidence.
That's actually better.
But that's what I'm saying. So the problem I'm having with this is that my opponent is using all of these subjective terms, and you guys are using his measurement of morality and definitions and all these different things. I haven't done that once. I haven't tried to because I'm trying to have a debate about something where we have a solid point of reference and we can make a valid right or wrong argument, when his whole thing is emotionality. His whole thing is like men are the problem and women aren't doing anything.
We are going to be stuck because Fantastic could literally say, oh, you think such and such is toxic? Prove it. Oh, do you think this man? Prove it. Oh, do you think that? Prove it. And we are going to stay here forever, because now we are going to get on the loophole of, if you make an educated statement like Brownsville say about Rim Brothers being bad for society, he's stuck because Fantastic is going to say prove it, and the conversation is not going to move on because there's no proof about these stats and statistics and all that. Okay, so let's be fair about it and have an open conversation before that. Aaron, what's the problem, Aaron?
I don't know if that's true. If he says they are bad for society because XYZ and then presents supporting evidence with XYZ, he can create supporting evidence. I think
yes, but there's not
blanketed statements are, of course, not.
But Aaron, but it's still an opinion. It's not a fact.
Let's not turn this into the moderator show. We could
no. The clock is stopped.
Let the two debaters get their time back. It's only a 2-hour show. Let them get their debate time back, please.
We are doing this for further clarification, because somebody can come on the panel, listen to what you said, and every claim the other person says, he can say, prove it, and we're not going to move on. It's educated opinions. Even if you pick up certain data and not data and status, but if you keep up, but because this happened and this happened and this happened, you can flip it and say, there's not evidence proof, this is your opinion, and you just congregated a bunch of information to substantiate it, even though it's not valid because it's not the facts, it's opinions. That's what I'm saying.
So to be clear, Team Fatty, so to be clear, we're going to concede to being stuck in a position in which Mr. Fantastic says that the majority of Black women love to be treated in a toxic way.
Yes.
And because there's no measurements to determine if he's correct or not, we're just going to allow the audience to say, okay, he has a right to that opinion. Even though we know,
you know why? No, one second. You know, Brownsville. Let's go back and give an example. Right? I ask you, if we remove all men from OnlyFans CEOs positions, brothels, like all that, would that industry collapse, or it will be replaced? You said no, it would collapse. You have no proof. but I accept it because it's an educated opinion. You have no proof that what is happening. I'm just
But
asking.
hold on, and
Right?
mods, I gave, and that's what I'm saying. You guys have to keep. I gave substantial, as Aaron said, I gave substantial proof. I
He
named
talked about
specific
media
people
support,
and
women relationship between one another. I
Yes.
was listening.
not just that. Specifically for the brothel things and so on and so. I brought up Heidi Fleiss. I brought up the other madams. Those people, those women exist. There have been women that are independent without a man and they still sell their bodies. No man involved whatsoever. So then I'm giving direct counterpoints to him. He's yet to give me anything substantive. And actually, like you said, since he's pretty much, I don't say he led the debate, but more of the stuff that seems to be on his side, to where it's feelings and opinion. I really like to get into a lot of these numbers and things now, something where we can actually substantiate things, because he's the one that's challenging me, saying my ideology is wrong and just giving me nothing but opinions. So I would like to get to points or some point in the debate where we could talk about things where there's actual quantifiable things and something to where there are hard truths or untruths.
So let's get Bronzeville back on offense, right? Because again, I'm going to go with you guys and go with the flow and allow you to do. Can you, like, is that any hard stance that you have about the Rim Brothers, Mr. Fantastic, or all this debate that you can substantiate that is bad for society, bad for relationships, bad for the way that our women and children are treated? Can you elaborate, and can you go from there so we can restart the clock?
Yeah, so one of the talking points that the Rim brothers love to perpetuate is that women in today's time are, and by and large, more promiscuous than before, right? Which pollutes the market. They love to point to promiscuity as a way to say, well, it's hard for a man to find a suitable wife, right? That's why they talk about body counts and things of that nature, right?
Mm.
And the a study that I read, I think it was the Institute of Family Studies or the Institute of Family Structure, something like that, IFS. They said that by and large, promiscuity has not changed within the decades from 1950 to now. They do say that they are outliers, right? To where women are being more sexually liberated. The women who are being promiscuous are having higher body counts, but they are saying that it's an outlier, right? But when you hear the men who are perpetuating the narrative towards the woman, when you hear them speak, they're not saying that it's an outlier. They're saying that it's the majority of women.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I don't understand what he means by outlier, but let's just say this again. So yes, promiscuity has increased. So again, black women lead, okay, in abortions. Of the 31 states that was taken, I think in 2022, black women also lead in STDs, especially specifically the highest and newest HIV rates. So that would lead to proof of them being more promiscuous than they were in the past. Okay, when you look up STD rates, out of wedlock births, which was not as high as it was. Again, it was not, what was it now? I think it's 70%. It was not 70% as you what I gotta make clarity. You said over 50 years ago. I guarantee you, 50 years ago, there was not a 70% out of wedlock mother rate. So again, I've directly disproven a false claim that my opponent made, and I knew as soon as we got to the point to the numbers, he's gonna have nothing to stand on. Okay, so I would like him to disprove or counter my points of the stats and numbers that I've given him to make his next point.
Right. And what I'm saying is in terms of promiscuity, right? So you mentioned STD rates and all of those things, right? But we're gonna concede that yes, STD rates have gone up both within men and women. It is problematic, right? But what I'm telling you is the Institute of Family Studies. This is the founding that they wrote. They said, and I'm quoting from their study, contrary to public perception, typical sexual behavior hasn't changed much in recent decades, but there will always be outliers. Now, this is from the Institute of Family Studies. You can Google it, you can reference it. I'm giving you a reference point from their study that they said promiscuity in recent decades have not changed, contrary to public perception.
Hold on, I need more context about what they mean by that, because again, what numbers now you have to not you're reading a sentence. I need you to give me the numbers since they're saying 50. Go back 50 years, give me the number 50 years ago. Now compare the numbers to now today. And again, you're no need for you to do it, because I'm going to say this again. Unless you are claiming that there was a 70% single mother rate 50 years ago, okay, you're simply just grabbing some opinionated source and saying it's a good source, and you don't have anything behind it. So I'm going to ask you directly, are you claiming that it was a 70% single mother rate 50 years ago? Yes or no? Just like you did me. Yes or no? It's my time. Huh?
No.
All right, then. So you just proved my point of promiscuity. A woman having sex out of wedlock. Hold on. You set the premise for, hey, men should only be having sex with women they're married to, correct? Earlier? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So if women are having sex out of wedlock, what are those women therefore doing? They're being promiscuous, correct?
Yes.
All right, then. Point one. Next topic.
Right. But the thing
there's no need to belabor it. It's no belief. You literally just conceded. It's no need to belabor it. It's over with. That's over with. I won that one.
What I'm saying is sexual promiscuity hasn't changed much in the years. There's always been sex out of wedlock.
Mods, can we step in? He already admitted.
Mods, isn't anything new.
Mods, he's already admitted to all of my points. He agreed with me direct. I asked him questions directly. He said yes, 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 and yes. I asked him, was 50 years ago, was the single mother rate at 70%?
Hold on.
But that has nothing to do with it. That doesn't
substantiate. One second. Sharon, do you agree that he conceded this point that is worse now?
I think he conceded to a different point.
Right.
Explain. You're going to have time to go. What happened? What happened?
So Brownsville was talking about a specific article, and then Mr. Fantastic added single motherhood into the equation.
That he brought up in promiscuity, and he admitted to the fact that women having
children
out of wedlock is promiscuity. So you can't. Why are y'all doing this? He said it. I literally went by the premise he said.
It was a point.
His premise directly. He answered yes.
I got you.
Hold on.
No, I got you.
All three of mine.
It was a point on the beginning of the show when he was talking about. It was a point on the beginning of the show when he was talking about
something
objectifying, and he said you can do it with your wife. So that makes the basis that if you do anything outside of wedlock, meaning having sex and all that, is something that is actually don't look. It doesn't have a positive outlook about that. So let's consider the point.
But Team Fatty, right? When it comes to the marriage statistics, have they changed dramatically in recent years?
Yes.
Where people, so what is the statistics 50 years ago in terms of marriage compared to now?
Way higher.
Okay, so give me the numbers.
No, you're asking.
You have to prove the points, Brownsville, and you use already the Google.
I mean, what I'm asking. He said yes. The numbers are drastically different. So I'm asking, what are the numbers? Right?
Give us the numbers.
Maybe the institute, because when I'm talking about in terms of body count. What their study shows is in terms of body count, right? Promiscuity has not changed in recent decades, right? Women are not necessarily having a higher body count now than they were 50 years ago.
That is an unprovable fact. Hold on, stop. I have to step in and address this. Again, if you're going to ask a survey to where women are going to be truthful about their sexual history, that's a survey, brother. There's no way for you to prove whether a woman is telling the truth or not. And again, but what I have, though, this proves the lie being told by you. When you have a spike in STD rates, which only you can get from what? How can you get STDs, brother?
Sex.
All right. How can you get pregnancies and babies, brother?
Sex.
All right. So when I give you the numbers and those numbers are in the negative for women, that proves that promiscuity has clearly risen over 50 years. Can we move on? Why we keep belaboring this? We wasting time.
Okay, we can move on. That's fine. That's fine. So now, right, you accused me of being a panderer, right? And one of the reasons and one of the ways you try to substantiate the argument that I am a panderer is you said what he calls all woman queens, right? So are you willing to substantiate that, or are you willing to concede that you were given a fallacy
I was given a fallacy. How?
by calling me a panderer based on me calling the women queens?
No, that's my opinion, and most men agree with me. Again, so now we're back to the opinionated stuff. So we're back to the opinionated stuff. It'll be my opinion versus yours, but I'll make this quick. You're a panderer because, again, as we've proven it throughout this whole debate, you've only given one negative scenario where a woman can be at fault. You're saying, and you even just conceding to the last point in discussion we had, you can admit that, again, promiscuity has went up drastically with women when there's substantial and evidence of it through STD rates, childbirths out of wedlock, and all these different things. So you're double talking, okay? You tell women what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. And yes, that makes you a panderer. When you lie to women, you purposely tell women what they want to hear, knowing that they are not living up to the standard. And then, all right.
Let me ask a clarifying question from Brownsville. Brownsville, is that anything that women are doing in mass in society right now that is contributing for this dating market chaos that we have right now?
Absolutely.
Can you give us a couple of examples?
Yes. So they're showing a lack of discernment in regards to choosing the correct men to be vulnerable with, right? That's the biggest thing that they're doing that's wrong, right? Another thing that they're doing is they're being irresponsible in terms of, you know, the standards that they're willing to keep a man to, in regards to what they are willing to accept from a man in a relationship. I believe that the standards are drastically going down, right? So absolutely.
It sounds like you are shifting the blame to the woman. For example, if I said most men are catcallers, there's something that men are clearly doing without me shifting the blame to the woman, right? Or if I said, like, can you give me an example of things that women are doing in mass in this dating market that have, like, that is them doing something wrong, is not the shifting, oh, because they're choosing bad men or because they don't have standards for the men that they're fucking. Because that's that, you know, see what I'm saying? He insinuates that is the man's fault. They are the good person and they're picking a bad person and they are being together with that person. Can you say something that actually stops the buck on the woman instead of being transferred for the man?
Yes, I use the words a lack of discernment, which if I was to say, Fatty, you're showing a lack of discernment, right? The buck stops with you.
For doing what? Discernment to do what?
Right, discernment and choosing which men they're trying to engage in a relationship with.
But there's the thing, is like me saying I'm too trusting, meaning that I'm choosing untrustworthy people, and that woman is, I'm shifting blame because that woman is the untrustworthy woman. You see what I'm saying? So can you do it like something that is actually woman responsibility without involving the man?
But a relationship involves a man and a woman.
No, Brownsville. You gave an example, for example, the OnlyFans owner, right? You gave an example. You clearly gave an example of, we're talking about the supplier and the supplier and the demand, right? And you put the onus on the man. It was strictly on the man. These men have brothels. These men have OnlyFans. These men are doing this, are doing that. That buck stopped with the man. You literally put the blame there. Can you do the same thing that you did there, but do it with the woman? Women are doing this without involving any man or shifting the accountability for her.
Why we leading the debate? Let them debate.
No. Sharon, the claim was Brownsville is a panderer, right? Because he only talks about men. He doesn't talk
what
about
I'm saying
women.
is, don't help Fantastic.
One second.
Let him debate it. You making a point?
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not a debate. It's to steal Manny's points. It's to steal Manny's points. It's to fortify the point. Can you give us an example of you criticizing women without the involvement of men? If you have one, that will prove clearly that you are not pandering, and we move along and you win the point. I'm facilitating the argument.
So when women are sexually objectifying themselves, I feel like that's a problem. I.e., selling sex online, selling sex on Instagram, on Facebook. I think that's improper.
Great. Okay.
I'm going to make an
I'm not saying that that's a majority of women. I'm saying it's a minority of women.
but that was not the question.
Well, no, I'm cool with that.
But let's go. Let's go with that, Mr. Fantastic. Can you tell us clearly things that men are doing wrong on this dating market without involving women?
Let's get back to the substantiate the pandering, right? We didn't. Did we move past that already?
Okay, well, I thought I did, but
No,
okay, I can well, I can counter his point, or I guess I guess.
I'm going to go ahead, Fantastic, and counter his point. It's fine.
Okay, so again, so he I guess criticized women for their exactly. He agreed with me in our earlier point that he said I was wrong in. So he just went back to our original statement and argument that he was making and admitted that I was right in that. Women are, be it minority or majority, responsible for the shift in the dating market because, like he just admitted to, they're taking advantage of their sexuality and they're leveraging it for profit. Okay, he chose to specifically call out OnlyFans. No one forced him, no one suggested, and he said selling their bodies. So again, this goes back to my earlier point of in the debate. So now I won that topic. Now back to the pandering point. Okay, he says that now, but I'm going to ask him, when has he done that to any of the women that he speaks to on a daily basis? When he told those women that they are not choosing, they should stop selling their bodies, or they should stop posting these provocative pictures and all these different things, and or not they should stop. They are wrong for it. When has he chastised these women like he seems to do to men all the time? When has he chastised these women that are in their 30s and 40s and they're getting pregnant by bums? Has he done that? Is there any evidence that he's telling these women, hey, you need to stop having sex with these bums? You need to make yourself a righteous man, a righteous woman for a righteous man, so you can have the ideal situation like me and my wife, as he challenged me to earlier. I'm asking him, is he holding the women to the same standard that he's holding the men? Is he ever said any of the things about, again, I guess, all these different things, but has he held women to task for their parts in poor decisions that he just said they lack discernment in?
So yes, absolutely. In many discussions when it comes to, sexual objectification, when it comes to women, responding favorably to the sexy reds of the world and things of that nature. Obviously, I'm against all that, right? But I guess what you guys want me to do is what y'all do, which is oversaturate the market when it comes to correcting and criticizing women, right? But y'all take it further, Mr. Fantastic, and that's the point that I don't want to skip over, because you specifically called me a panderer, and your logic behind that was that he calls all women queens, right? These words came out of your mouth, Mr. Fantastic. So I want you, and not Team Fatty trying to help you move that point. No, I want you to
respectfully don't address the moderator, because Sharon Bracy been doing the same thing and you didn't call him out. Okay, let's move along.
Okay, so again, you want me to address me calling you a panderer, and did you not start your opening soliloquy with calling the women queens?
Yes, I did.
All right, so I won.
No, but how is
no, stop, listen, hold on. You asked me the question that I said you are a panderer because you call all the women queens. That's all.
Right.
You proved it. You proved my point.
All right. So let me clarify. Let me ask a clarifying question then. So is it your belief that men who call women queens are panderers?
All women. I specifically said, and that's why.
Okay,
stop. No, you don't cut me off. This is a back and forth now. So again, now I have a question for you. Do you think that all women are queens?
Yes.
All right then. That's pandering. That's clearly pandering.
Okay, all right. So
So
let me
hold on,
ask you this.
hold on. So if I gotta ask another question, I gotta. So could you describe to us what a queen would be? What's a quality of a queen? Go ahead.
It's just, so when I use queen, it's just a term of endearment. It's just lifting a woman up, right? Giving them a compliment, right? Giving them a word of affirmation, right? It's not me saying that I know the character of that woman.
Stop. No. So hold on. That's the problem with that is there's several other words you could use. Beautiful, lovely, whatever. Queen has a specific meaning. So you can't just take the actual word that has a meaning, right? Queen, royalty, rulership, leadership, all these things, a place of authority, and then say, oh, it's just a general thing. No, be specific. Tell me what would be considered by the masses, by most people, not just Brownsville. We're out of this thing to where Brownsville's opinion is. Give us the definition and some qualities of a queenly woman. Go.
Okay, well, I will substantiate it better. Are you familiar with our Black history?
You can't answer. Don't answer my question with a question. Answer my question, then after you answer my question, we can ask more questions. Answer my question
what I'm saying is I'm going to answer your question by
okay. So just explain it to me. Don't ask me that.
Okay,
so
tell me. Let me act, but before I tell you, I gotta ask you because I don't want to be talking about something you have no idea about.
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
Brownsville, please don't waste the time on the clock,
Yeah,
and give us this in 1 minute, please.
Okay, so Marcus Garvey, right? Are you familiar with Marcus Garvey?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Marcus Garvey. He once said these words. He made a poem about a Black woman in 1927. This is how he starts off the poem. And the title of the poem is The Black Woman. He says, Black queen of beauty, thou hast given color to the world. Among other women, thou art royal and the fairest, like the brightest of jewels in a regal diadem. Shinest thou, goddess of Africa, nature's purest emblem, right? And then later on in that same poem, this is what Marcus Garvey said. He said, today, you have been dethroned through the weakness of your men. Today, you have been dethroned through the weakness of your men. So, using your logic, Marcus Garvey must have been a panderer.
Yeah, he would. He and I would agree. Yes, you still haven't disproven my point. Now, you used someone's poem. You still didn't answer my question. So I'm gonna ask you this for the third time. You, not Marcus Garvey's opinion, yours. Give me some queenly qualities that all women possess. This is why I said all. That specifically.
Can I jump in right there? He already gave an example.
Hold on. No, it's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. Go ahead, Sharon.
He already gave his definition of what he meant by queen, and you are trying to change his definition of what he gave. He substantiated what queen means. It's endurement. Now you're trying to give him a different meaning.
That's fine. So let me. I got this. It's fine. No, please, it's fine. So Brownsville. If a woman was a rapist, would you call her a queen?
No.
If a woman deleted their kids, would you call her a queen?
No.
If a woman mistreated every single person that she encountered, would you call her a queen? No. You guys are not going to do this once again.
You are not debating him.
I'm not debating him. I'm not debating nobody, and I'm not giving an opinion. What is the opinion that I'm giving right now? This is not an opinion. This is a question. And I'm going to do the same thing with Mr. Fantastic if you allow me. If I'm a moderator, I can ask questions because this is what we're here for. I'm asking questions. I'm not giving opinions. So be quiet. Respectfully, of course. Thank you.
But I answered your questions, Team Fatty.
Yes.
Here's the thing. So now we're getting into nuance. We're getting into nuance.
Brownsville.
All is not nuance.
One second. I'm not going to reach a conclusion. They were afraid that I was asking the questions to then give a conclusion. I'm just asking clarifying questions the same way I asked Mr.
Right,
Fantastic.
but
What
I
are the
answered your
responses?
My
question.
point, and it's got to be my time by now, bro. It's got to be my time.
But I
You
answered
had
your
three
question,
rounds.
but I'm
one
not
second,
able
please.
to.
You had
Hey,
people.
please 1 second. Let's give Brownsville 30 seconds, and Mr. Fantastic can go ahead with 1 minute and a half. And please, moderators, don't check each other if you're not going out of line. I'm asking questions. That's why you are here, to ask questions. Okay? So don't stop me when I'm asking questions, because I won't stop y'all if y'all ask questions too.
So when I use queen online, right, it's just simply a term of endearment, a word of affirmation for the woman on the internet, right? I'm not saying that I know these women, right, and I'm putting them on a pedestal above other women. No, I'm not doing that, right? I'm simply saying, hey, I am giving them their flowers and lifting them up, right? I'm setting an example. That's it.
Go ahead, Fantastic. You have 1 minute and a half to respond.
My bad. So again, man, that is pandering. You're giving all women, and you said yourself, and I made specific all. That means total, no matter who they are as a person. You just said yourself, when you don't know who a person is, you literally just said this. You don't know a person, you don't know their character, you don't know what they do in real life, and you give them a term of endearment just off a principle, that is pandering. Okay, if I saw a criminal or a woman beater or a child abuser, okay, and hey, King, what's going on? I would never just say, what's going on, King? No, I wouldn't do that, brother. Again, I don't just generally give the statement of everybody's good, and that's what pandering is. You do not tell women anything other than exactly what they want to hear. You constantly lift them up, regardless, like you just said yourself. You don't know them. So again, that's another point for me, checkmate, because you just proved my point. When you admit that you don't know a person and you give them just, platitudes without any verification of them deserving them or not, that's called pandering, sir.
No, it's not.
I have another clarifying question. Would you do the same thing
So
for
I
Man
can't
Brownsville?
respond.
No, you can. You absolutely can. God damn it. Would you allow and give the same courtesy to the man? Yes. An unknown man? Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So to
Thank
answer
you
your question, yes. Right?
God damn
because
it.
like I said, and you see how Mr. Fantastic, he added nuance. He said, well, if I know these dudes are criminals, if I know these dudes are rapists, I'm not going to say, hey, King, right? That's adding a nuance that I first already admitted, hey, I'm not privy to. And I already said, hey, if I was privy to that nuance, if I knew this woman was a rapist, I wouldn't call her queen. If I knew this woman was a child predator, I wouldn't call her queen, right? But I'm job, whether it's a new living situation, whether it's a new country. We don't want people to treat us with preconceived notions. We want people to treat us with respect, right? So that's what I'm doing off basis, just like Marcus Garvey did in his poem, right? He didn't mention some woman. He said, listen, this is to the black woman. And he started it off by saying, hey, you are queens, right? So, and he says, the weakness of your men is what dethrones you from your virtue, right? So all I'm saying is this: if he's calling me a panderer just simply because I called women queens, then he also has to call Marcus Garvey a panderer, which he seems that he's okay to do that, right? But now let's get into the definition of what a panderer is, right? And so I want Mr. Fantastic to substantiate his claim of me pandering by showing how I fit that description from the definition.
Oh shit.
Go ahead, Fantastic.
I'm trying to share my screen. 1 second. He asked a question, so I have to give the evidence of it right here. If you could share my screen, please.
Yes, sir. And by the way, friends, on Friday we have a second debate. I hope you guys are here. Oh shit. Thanos versus Ilkan Ali, Friday. So I hope you guys are here. Thank you to the 790 people watching. We are on the 30 minutes mark, so we are going to start to look at questions, okay? Questions from the mods, and especially questions from the public. So if you want your question to be heard, $20, okay? $20 so we can read your question. We are going to read all the super chats at the end of the show. If you want to activate Shadow Realm, no holds barred, everybody can be loose with their words, $100, and you get Shadow Realm for 20 minutes. So let's go here to Mr. Fantastic. Pender, gratify or indulge an immoral or distasteful desire, need, or habit, or a person with such a desire, etc. Example, newspapers are pandering to people baser instincts. Go ahead, Fantastic.
Okay, so when you have these women out here with the desires of sexual immorality, and you call them queen anyway, you're pandering. Again, when you give women, like you said, regardless of how you say it, a term of endearment, when they are not acting in righteousness, which you base this whole debate off of, you are pandering. They're going directly against your own personal principles, your own personal moral standard. So if you're again giving them platitudes when they don't fit your standard, that is pandering. When a person is below the standard or morality and you praise them and you enable them, that is pandering. Okay.
So,
So
friends,
the definition said,
before we go, friends, Lauren decided to activate the motherfucking Shadow Realm. So, buckle up. And friends, the gloves are off. The timer on the 30 minutes, we're on 30-minute mark, is off, like it's going to be here for 20 minutes. And then we go back to we can answer the questions and move along. Once again, let's eat below the belt, but not Subway type of hellish type of below the belt. Okay, let's be fair about that. Go ahead, Bronzeville. You have a chance to rebuttal. You're good.
so the definition clearly said to gratify or indulge someone else's immorality, right? Now, Mr. Fantastic said by me simply giving them a term of endearment, I'm gratifying their immorality. Now, I know that based on the way he's been talking, he's not really that intelligent, but I'm willing to bet that he's more intelligent than to suggest that someone giving somebody a term of endearment is gratifying their immorality. I'm willing to bet he's a little bit more intelligent than to say something like that.
Mr. Fantastic? Yes, sir.
Well, I'm intelligent enough to not have a pooch icy and looks like a raincoat on in the summertime and be standing outside on my phone. Having a debate. Listen, brother, again, can you please line that mustache up too while you're at it, brother? Never seen you with a lined up mustache. So again, brother, when you give, I don't understand what part you are missing. Don't smile, brother, because you that gap in the middle of your mouth ain't helping either. Okay, keep your mouth closed. That's why you usually do that. Now listen, okay. When you already have admitted to Fatty when he asked you the question, would you certain type of women you would not give platitudes to? You wouldn't call them queen. You wouldn't call a woman that's an abuser a queen. You wouldn't call a woman that's a cheater. You said this yourself. Actually, you said a woman that's a cheater, you find them immoral. But I'm pretty positive that there are cheater women that you're calling queen. Okay. Again, that is pandering. I don't know why we're still here, bro. I've already proved that. You've admitted to, again, you said yourself, and you conceded the point when you said you don't know these women, you don't know anything about them, but you just give a general platitude, brother. Okay.
Brownsville?
Well, it's kind of clear that for some reason you get some type of gratification by talking about my mouth. It's weird. And I kind of find it like, but I'm not like confused or surprised by it? Because you are a rim brother, right? And we understand that rim brothers are kind of like secretly aligned with LGBT, but that's a conversation for another day. But I do find it interesting, Mr. Fantastic, that on your show today, you specifically talked about men in prison and being gay. Now, I don't know why a straight man will find gratification from talking about men in prison and 80% of them being gay, and then making jokes about men jerking off behind shower curtains and laughing about it, and all these different things that you was doing on your platform, by the way, right? But yet you consider yourself a straight man who like women, right? And to me, a straight man that like women wouldn't be worried about how another man's mouth looked, nor would that man be worried about what men are doing in prison.
Uh-oh. We lost Fantastic for a second.
Yeah, because you know, listen, when they put the shadow realm on, this guy obviously gets nervous and scared for some odd reason. I don't know.
Back.
Hey, man, these niggas done crashed my computer, man. It's wild. I ain't never had a computer crashing ever. This nigga done called. This nigga done called in the big dog. Damn, he that getting roasted. That brother. This is again, shadow realm means, brother, anything goes. So I'm not infatuated with your mouth at all, but you are the man that decided to use the term rim, and we know what rim means, brother. Okay, we know that it's you that have these, you know, homoerotic innuendos. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm just pointing out how raggedy your mouth is, brother. You might want me to be intrigued by it, but I promise you, brother, again, as you said, I objectify women, brother. We get to the bottom of the pussy over here, no pussy, brother. So, hey, I don't know this mouth stuff that you talk about. All I'm saying, brother, is pay your barber a little extra. You're in New York. I know it's a little more expensive, but pay the money, brother, to get your mustache lined up, okay? Hey.
I have a question when you guys decide. Like, can I ask a question to Bronzeville? Bronzeville, do you think Mr. Fantastic panders to men?
Oh, absolutely, Mr. Fantastic panders to men. I mean, that goes without question, right?
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, yeah.
And I'll raise the clock real quick. Go ahead.
Quite frankly, right? Like I said in his stream today, right? He had an audience of mostly men talking about how 80% of men in prison are having sex with each other, right? So now, if he was talking about the woman in prison and about the women having sex, then I would say, okay, well, I still would find it improper, but I can see how a straight man would be interested in women having sex in prison. Still weird, but I can see it, right? But when it comes to men taking interest of other men having sex with men in prison, and that was his whole show was today. You can go and look at it, right? It's on his platform right now. I just find it kind of weird and queer for a man to be concerned with what other men are doing with men in prison. He has to substantiate that. He has to tell us why he was so interested in discussing that topic.
You gotta get him back. You better go down there and get him back.
Well, great. I have no problem doing that, brother. Again, black women in a large percentage of them, as I explained to you earlier, have an infatuation with prison men, okay? And those men in prison are having sex with men. Again, it's a reason why black women have the highest new HIV rates. So when these women deal with men, okay, that have sex with other men, straight men get caught in the crossfire. That's one of the most important things that never gets talked about. So these women contract HIV and other, you know, serious STDs or whatnot, what have you, because these women are getting them from men that women are knowingly, and again, you want NIH, I'll pull it up, okay, had to actually do a survey on it of, and black women had, they had an article a couple of years back to where they were promoting relationships with bisexual men, quote unquote. Okay. Now, you as a moral man, I have a question for you. Do you believe in such thing as a bisexual man?
No.
All right, then. So that's why. Okay. So as you agree with me, the premise that there's no such thing as a bisexual man, that means these women are having sex with gay men. And as I said, black men are being blamed for lack of dick discipline, as you guys like to say, and sexual irresponsibility and immorality. But again, black men aren't the ones, straight black men. That's why I had to make straight black men, okay, aren't out here doing that. They're actually getting caught up because these women's infatuation with, you know, men. Okay, and the one you make sure you tell it the whole thing. The stream I did today was about a man that presents as a woman in prison. Okay, and the willingness at 87%, not 80, according to him, that agrees as a her or identifies as a her, said was willing to have sex with her, almost deleted her. They pulled out prison swords. Okay, the nigga lander was activated because they couldn't motherfucking not get that bussy, brother. So make sure you tell the full details about the thirstiness and hungriness of these criminal niggas that black women seem to be motherfucking infatuated with and can't motherfucking leave alone.
Let's reply
Right.
and
So-
let's
so-
1 second. Let's reply and then we go to the messages, to the $20 and up questions that they asked. Okay, and we move along from that. We have 12 minutes of Shadow Realm, so everything goes. Just be responsible, please. Don't use blunt weapons. Go ahead.
So, I mean, I'm glad now you're talking about women and the effects of women getting involved in that situation. But on your stream today, the overwhelming majority of that stream was men on men, right? And not only were you talking about it, Mr. Fantastic, you were joking about it. You were saying, oh, man, if you're going to jerk off behind a curtain while another man is there, do your thing, brother, do your thing, right? This was Mr. Fantastic talking. Now you can go back and I can pull that up right in the stream and you saying that, making that joke, right? You wasn't talking about no women. You were talking about men, right? And so that's my issue with y'all Rim brothers, right? Y'all are always trying to get into this weird stuff. Like, what is the infatuation that you guys have with men being with men in prison? See, if I was doing a stream on prison, Mr. Fantastic, I would have brought up how the Department of Justice say that over the lifespan of a black man, 28% of them will find themselves in state prison or federal prison, right? And what I would be doing is communicating to men what we need to do to stay out of that dilemma, stay out of prison, avoid going to being part of that 87% that you suggest, right? But you know what you do? You have the stream to where you want to joke and laugh about men being sexually exploited by other men in prison. But yet you want to present to the community that you have a straight man, that you're a straight man that care about women. So what I'm saying is, it's not adding up, my brother. Brother. You need to fix
First off,
it.
that was a horrible. And brother,
Shit.
you will be hearing from my lawyers, brother, because that's horrible copyright infringement right there. Horrible. Now, again, brother, listen, brother, I talked about a man being alone and choosing to pleasure himself versus using another man, brother. Okay, that's what we talking about, brother. I'm pretty sure you have pleasured yourself at some point in time in life. Okay, most men do. Come on, what are we doing here? We're adults, brother. Okay, shout out to Juvenile. He say I'm in a room with a bitch and the holder won't fuck like a man. I'm gonna beat my meat, get my fucking nut for show. I'm gonna be rolled in. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna cut the TV off and go to sleep on that hold in. Some of the best words ever told. Because you know what? If a man self gratifies Brownsville, you know what that does? That could possibly protect a woman from being, you know, taken advantage of, or a woman being forcefully chosen to have sex. So I don't see why you would be, you know, this big, you know, anti, you know, man pleasuring himself in wherever. Okay, it just happened to be prison we were talking about, and I'm pretty sure most men and women would agree with me that a man that chooses to pleasure himself, okay, pleasure himself privately, I didn't say why nobody else is in the fucking room, okay, is a much better option than him motherfucking bending a man over, okay, and have a motherfucker doing the bending. Now, again, brother, you keep trying to bring this thing around, and I don't talk to prison niggas, okay? I'm the representation. I don't have to say much. I'm the representation of what black men need to do. Wise decisions, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, home, retired. I'm 40 years old. I mean, you know, a lot of different other things I got going on that's positive, brother. I live it. I don't have to really speak it as much. You know what I'm saying? Because then y'all say I'm bragging. You know what I mean? Shout out to the by the way. But you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying, brother. I'm living proof and evidence of what black men need to do every time I get on YouTube, brother. So that's self-explanatory.
So friends, we're going to end this by now when it comes to the back and forth, okay?
Again!
Make sure that you like the video on Fantastic and on Sharon's side, and on my side there's almost 800 people watching, okay? If they have the membership option, become a member. The cash apps and the super chats are on the bottom, so please, if you want to support the show, you know exactly what to do. On my side, I need 9 members, friends. That will be great to get the 9 members. All the goals were crushed immediately. And thank you very much to Lauren for unlocking the Shadow Realm. That brother was worth it. There was is a 1 point. I'm going to be biased right now. 1 point from Brownsville. That was worth it. So let's.
Bro, I gotta send one to now. I gotta send one overseas, man. Y'all niggas stealing.
We still have 8 minutes of Shadow Realm, and we have 25 minutes of debate. The moderators want to ask anything before we start to look at the questions that are in the chat. And by the way, at the end of the debate, we are going to read every single comment that was that is under $20. So we are showing them at the end of the debate. We are going to do that. Anyone want to ask any question to the debaters before we go to the main event? Nobody? Okay, that's perfect. Let's go and let's answer the questions of the public. Once again, $20, and we're going to read your questions. So if you have something for Fantastic, Brownsville, or both, that's exactly what we are going to do. And Theo, thank you very much for getting us through the goal with the Untouchable membership. I appreciate you,
Untouchable Empire, baby.
Thank you very much. I will light it at the end. So, friends, let's see what they have for us right now. First question goes to Red Pill Ranger. Red Pill Ranger, thank you very much, sir. It says, Brownsville, you talk about objectifying, but is your wife the only woman you smashed? Go ahead, Brownsville. Yes or no?
No.
Do you have any kids not with her?
No.
Did you objectify the woman you eat before?
Yes.
Is your cousin a failure and objectifies by making single moms?
He's not a failure now, but he did have failed relationships.
Damn. Aww. Take that, Sharon. Thank you very much, Red Pill Ranger. I appreciate you. Let's go to the second one. We have Ilkan Ali in the building. Ilkan Ali says, oh, yeah, and by the way, Red Pill Ranger, let's make it one question per $20, because that was $60 squeezed. That was $60 squeezed in one question. So let's not cheat, please. Okay. Brownsville said both Kevin Samuels and Tommy both helped create the mess of Rim Brothers, but 304s with millions of followers don't have impact on the dating market. Promiscuous woman didn't impact the dating market. Please go ahead, Brownsville. You have 1 minute to reply to Ilkan Ali.
I can't read the question. So
his question is basically, you said that Kevin Samuels and Tommy didn't help change the like they created the Rim Brothers, right? And the 304, like, and you are saying that these 304s with millions of subscribers, don't they have an impact on the market if you're going to look at Tommy, Kevin Samuels, the Rim Brothers, and all that, and you think they have impact in society, in the dating market? Why do you think these women with millions of subscribers don't have an impact on society?
Well,
on the dating market. I'm sorry, on the dating market.
Yeah. So Ilkan Ali misheard what I said. I said they don't have an impact. I said Kevin Samuels and Tommy Sotomayor did not have an impact on the dating market.
Do the Rim Brothers have impact on the dating market?
No.
Go ahead, Darren. I don't know if you want to say something.
Nope. He's good.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ilkan Ali. I appreciate it. We are going to go down the drain with Valerie. Valerie doesn't say anything. She says, thank you, Fatty, on the Mr. Fantastic side. So thank you very much, Valerie, for supporting one of our debaters today. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We are going to go to the Angry Man. Angry Man says, the market is already oversaturated with male criticism for 50 plus years. Music, movies, media has destroyed the male image. Our critique is a response. Brownsville, 30 seconds. It's not a question, but 30 seconds. Do you have any remark towards this?
Yes. So here's the thing, right? Malcolm X, the great Malcolm X, once said, the most disrespected person on the planet is the black woman, right? He said the least protected person on the planet is the black woman. And he said the most neglected person on the planet is the black woman, right? That was almost 40 years after what Marcus Garvey said about the black woman, right? So we're not gonna rewrite history, Angry Man, and say, well, oh no, the men were the victims in history. No, no, no. The woman has always been the most maligned, specifically the black woman. And not only does Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X agree with me, but probably the overwhelming majority of the objective audience also would agree with me, Marcus Garvey, and Malcolm X.
I don't think you answered the question.
He didn't ask a question.
Yeah, he kind of has a point. He didn't answer the question, but I think you like you didn't engage with the comment.
He didn't invalidate Angry Man's point with his response. Yes. Is what you're saying.
Yes, but let's walk and then Randy didn't put an interrogation point. Please, if you have a question, ask a question. I'll dismiss it. I'll leave it alone. Okay, he has a valid point. Ilkan Ali, $20. If all women are queens and all men are kings, Brownsville, if all men are kings, why do you call men rim brothers instead of giving them the positive reinforcement as kings? 30 seconds, Brownsville.
Right. Well, most of these guys, the overwhelming majority of these guys, self-identify as rim brothers. So when I would hear these men speak, they would identify themselves as red pill. Some men would identify themselves as incel. And then you had some that identified themselves as manosphere, like Mr. Fantastic, right? So these guys, they identified themselves as being part of the Rimpire. The only thing I did was put an acronym to it. The R, which stands for red pill, the I, that stands for incel, and the M, that stands for manosphere. Now, I'm not surprised that these same brothers, they put a sexual connotation on the acronym, right? Because that's the first go-to that they have is sex, lust, and degeneracy.
Thank you very much.
Hold on, can I?
Yes. Go ahead. You have 30 seconds. Yes.
So again, man, listen. You don't play basketball, so I know you're not referring to that rim. You're in New York, so I doubt you're referring to car rims. So again, and you said it as a negative, and you keep bringing up these, homoerotic innuendos. That's where you suggested, because I did a topic on something that was on YouTube and something that's on viral on Instagram right now. Is something wrong with that? And clearly, like I said, I didn't endorse it. I was actually speaking against it. So that still mans my point. You have an innuendo there, and again, the weird thing your mouth is doing right now, brother. You want to keep talking about your mouth? Whoa, calm down.
The Shadow Realm has 3 minutes to go, friends. Just be careful, please.
Hey, I need you to hurry up and get to this one question. Can we jump to the one question for me so I can because it needs a Shadow Realm response.
With this question here?
No. This conversations with MJ. Go jump to that one.
This one?
I need the Shadow Realm response. Yeah, go ahead.
Fantastic just called Brownsville a brother. Is he a panderer? He don't himself He don't him, and it was a term of endearment. Checkmate.
So first off, brother isn't a term of endearment. It's just general respect, because again, I'm within the construct of a debate, and I can't use derogatory terms towards my opponent. So again, it's just something that me and him both have agreed to be manly and agree to. But most importantly, I don't talk to ass eaters. Okay, you out here eating man ass. I don't listen. You need to be paying $20 to go get checked. Okay. Go to medical. Okay. Go to medical. Don't let them give you no ibuprofen either.
Them. Right
So
back.
once again,
Brownsville, I let him go because it was not directed to you. You
I
can
can't respond. Okay.
He was responding to the question.
I know, but I wanted to respond to what he said.
You have 20 seconds.
Yes. So once again, MJ made a solid point. She did not talk about sex, lust, or degeneracy at all. But soon as Mr. Fantastic goes to respond, he goes to his first go-to, the first point of his value system, which is sex, lust, and degeneracy. So he's proving my point. Men need to recalibrate their value system.
I have a question for you since you jumped in. Who said that? Okay. Now I'm not going to go there because I have to mention Satan and I don't want to do that shit. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone for now. Let's go to the angry man real quick. Thank you, MJ, for the 20. The angry man, $20. All women can be queens and deemed good woman. That removes value from those who are good. That's what the angry man is saying. Thank you very much, angry man. Once again, thank you very much, Lauren, for opening the Shadow Realm. I'm going to acknowledge you at the end of the show. We have LAR movement saying, is righteousness morality based on gender or principles? Brownsville, I think this is for you.
Based on principles.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, I get it. That's a general thing.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's just open. So again, and that's the problem. That's the problem with a morality or righteousness argument. As I said earlier and stated earlier, if you ask 10 different people the meaning of righteousness, morality, you'll get 10 different answers. That's why you cannot have a debate where one person is trying to say, because I'm this and you're not, I'm better, or because you're that and I'm not, you're lesser. Okay, it's a poor standing and foundation for any, just, you know what I'm saying, substantial debate. So that's the whole thing about righteousness and morality.
So let me ask you a clarifying question, Mr. Fantastic, on that. No? Okay.
Is it fair? No. You can do it you can do it if you concede on the next question. Do not reply to nothing if it's not directed to you. Is that fair?
Yes, that's fair.
Go ahead. You have 20 seconds and Fantastic 20 seconds to respond.
So are you the type of person that if it wasn't for the laws of the land, you would be a criminal if it wasn't for the laws? Or are you the type of person that says that you need the law to determine what's right or wrong to you?
That's the question?
Yes.
That's most people. That's why laws are in place.
No, I'm asking about you.
So I'm saying I'm talking about me, but it's been proven throughout history. So now I have to you're trying to corner this thing, and I get to answer how I want to answer, because this is a debate question, not one of the what's names. So again, the reason why you have laws and you have people that make them is because people will break them if you don't have them. If you didn't have, before there were red lights, they made, you know why they made red lights? Because people were getting way more accidents, because it was just like, hey, you go, I go, it's confusion, so on and so forth. So laws by nature are societal standards that are accepted by the masses, most people. So if you take those away, i.e., let's just look at repeal slavery was a law. You know that, right? Right? Slavery was a law. So should white people ignore the law and keep practicing slavery? Of course not. You wouldn't make that argument. So again, when something is law, if it's not there, most people will do something as long as it's not illegal.
Well, laws were made for the immoral.
Marijuana.
For the moral.
He already answered. He already Brownsville. He already answered the question. He said yes. He said yes. Me and most people. That's what he said.
Okay. All right.
Let's keep going. Right. Making the world go around. $20 says, can you ask Brownsville why it chose such a vivid sexual innuendo to describe these men?
Wow.
Go ahead, Brownsville.
He said, what? I can't
yes,
read
why did like Reem every time somebody heard of it is like, it sounds like licking ass or playing last
so
play.
Here's the
why
thing.
did you why did you do that? Yes.
Right. So here's the thing, right? I broke down the acronym. The R stands for red pill. The I stands for incel. The M stands for manosphere, right? When you put those 3 letters together, it's REM. Now, it was the actual red pill, incel, and manosphere brothers. They're the ones who, for some reason, they added the sexual connotation to it. So maybe a hit dog hollered. I don't know.
Let me ask what my fellow moderator Sharon. Are you sure it was us that or it was you that make it sexual?
It definitely wasn't me.
I just want to make sure that
you know that Shaggy.
It was just a question for my friend moderator Sharon Bracy, just to make sure that everything's okay. Making the world go around. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We have 5 to go. Sharon, debate night Wednesdays is like the winner tonight. It fantastic. There's no question. There's support. Thank you very much, Carl. I appreciate you. Salute to you. We have Black Dawn in the building. Black Dawn says, question to Brownsville. Do you know what lip balm is? Your bottom lip look like the Krusty Krab.
So, Mr. Black Dawn, yes, I know what lip balm is, but just like Fantastic, for some strange reason, we got these alike brothers who are worried or concerned about my mouth, right? Now, listen, I don't know if y'all are with Diddy, his platform, or not. First, y'all talking about what the homos are doing in jail, and now you're concerned about Brownsville's mouth. Brownsville is married. Brownsville loves women, right? Woo. So please, Rim Brothers, take that information and keep it close to the vest. I'm not interested in y'all advances.
He got cooked. Hey, you didn't go down like that, huh? He got cooked.
And just to make fair, you can go Shadow Realm mode on mean comments. Okay, it's fine. I don't want to at each other, but if it's a mean comment, you guys can do it.
I don't have it again, brother. I don't think you, brother.
Damn,
just
we
so
got the
get
region
it right. Okay,
damn.
Brother. Maybe if you backed your face up away from the thing, we couldn't see all them cracks in your lips. And again, you're very, very untamed stash, brother.
No, ISO. This is a debater on debater crime. We don't do that over here. No,
listen, I'm simply addressing the thing, and I'm making an argument about how and why these things get brought up.
That question was not for you, Fantastic.
No, hold on. Yes, it is. Now let me explain. Because he said the Rim Brothers, and he calls me a Rim Brother, right? So he insinuates that we do homosexual.
The super chat is not for you. That's what they.
It was Black Dawn.
The super chat is not for you
either.
I don't know about that. Fantastic. I have to agree with Perrin on this one. I have to agree. I have to agree with Perrin on this one. Fantastic. It was a direct response at the Mr. Black Dawn. Let's stay there. Can't answer that right now, but maybe at the end of the show, I'm going to save this. If Sharon stays for a while, he might be answering. We'll be able to answer. Let's go to the next one. And thank you very much once again, Valerie. I'm going to save this for now. We have Black Dawn saying, question for Brownsville. Do you
already read that one?
You just answered.
Already, yeah. Already read this one? Then let's go here. Follow-up question for Brownsville. Have you ever considered getting a ski mask for your bottom? Is it the same thing? For your bottom lip? It looks like it's been left out in the cold for too long.
So once again, Mr. Black Dawn, right? You are showing an over infatuation for a grown man's mouth, right? That is the issue I have with y'all Rim Brothers, right? First, y'all make a sexual connotation to the red pill, incel, and manosphere, right? And now you guys are trying to make sexual advances on me, and y'all are interested in my mouth, right? Sir, you don't get to see what my mouth does. My mouth is for my wife. Fine.
Whoa.
Gay. Whoa, that's a foul. That's gotta be something.
Flag on the play.
Yeah.
Brownsville.
Next question.
Hey, you gotta be direct.
Ahmad's trying to help you. Ahmad's trying to help you.
You gotta be direct with these guys, man.
That was the next question.
They don't take no for an answer. He asked a follow-up question about my mouth, fatty.
Asked and answered. Let's move on.
The angry man is back in the building. It says BS. The events I spoke about happened after Brother Malcolm's time, and Brother Malcolm changed his position on a number of things. In other words, he was wrong. But here's the question: was Malcolm wrong about the nation? 30 seconds, Brownsville. Yes or no, and then elaborate if you can. If you don't want to, it is what it is. Was he wrong about the nation?
So Malcolm X.
Oh, your microphone is. I think you're covering the microphone. Try again. No, it's like it's probably your car. It probably you do
Yeah,
the.
make sure the microphone at the bottom of your phone is not been blocked off or anything.
Or maybe he
Yes.
connected to the Bluetooth.
Or it's connected to the Bluetooth of the car, probably.
Yeah.
And once again, shout out to the 778 people watching. We are going to have Ilkan Ali versus Thanos Theory on Friday. And I hope you guys are having a tremendous amount of fun. Let me save this before we go again, because Brownsville, are you okay now? Or your microphone is still out?
Well, you can have fantastic answer that question. It didn't specify an individual.
It's better. It's better now.
Yeah, it's better now. It sounds like can you turn off the Bluetooth and talk like as your phone instead of talking through the car?
And turn the AC on, brother. You can't pass out now. You already got a.
Damn, we are almost there. We are 7 minutes in. 7 minutes to go. And friends, no more questions. We have, let's see, 3 questions to go, and then we go to final considerations because we have 5 minutes to go. Mr. Fantastic, you want to answer this question?
What's the question? Put it
I don't think it was Malcolm. I'm going to put it on screen.
Was he wrong?
Yeah.
Was Malcolm wrong about the nation? I don't know what lens he's coming to, because I think Malcolm turned against the.
Yeah, it was on the nation, and then he left the nation.
No, I don't. As far as him coming to understand what it was, and it not being true, Islam versus NOI. No, I don't think he was wrong.
So his question is pertaining to: can Malcolm X make a statement
and be wrong,
or feel a certain type of way, or think a certain type of way, and then later change his mind?
Bro, exactly. Yes, I believe that completely. So yeah, with that, I agree that people do it all the time.
This is why the question was from Brownsville. I think the point that he's making.
Can y'all hear me?
Now it's perfect.
Clear.
Was Malcolm X wrong about the nation, Brownsville? Yes or no?
No, he was misled by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
So was it?
So was answer, Fatty? Asked and answered.
That's an answer?
Yes, that is an answer.
What did he like?
He directly responded, no. Mm-hmm. Then he said he was misled. That isn't.
Oh, okay. So it was not wrong. Okay, I got you. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't confuse myself. And once again, thank you, everybody. There's 5 minutes to go, 3 questions, and thank you especially. This is other than the money memberships. I won today because I have a new drop for my show.
Brother.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's worth it already. Thank you very much for all the people watching the show. Let's go to Angry Man again. Angry Man says, BS. Oh, I already read this one. Thank you very much, Angry Man. I appreciate it. We have 2 more to go. Theo, $20, says, Brownsville, if the Rim brothers don't affect the dating market, then your existence of being here and spilling this bullshit doesn't make sense. So are you just here to try and antagonize men for fun? Please answer the question, Brownsville. And I think you got a phone call, so when you can, just leave and then come back.
No. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I just can't see
you, though. You're not on video. Your screen black.
Yes.
Am I back now?
No, but answer the question, please. We have 2 more questions, then you can leave and come back. It's fine.
Okay, so no, the Rim brothers don't affect the dating market in general. However, they have a loud voice in this YouTube space, right? It's a large conglomerate of Rim brothers who are spewing remedial rhetoric in terms of their dangerous ideology as it pertains to how they view women, right? So there needs to be an alternative voice to that, right? Because these same men would also say, well, I wouldn't talk to my daughter the way I talk to the women on the internet, right? In which I would say, well, hey, everything I say on the internet, I would say to both of my children because I'm the same at home as I am online. I'm not a hypocrite.
So to clarify, so the Rim brothers don't move the needle in the dating market at all. Is their opinion?
No,
Is that
not in,
fair?
no, not at all. Not in real life. No. Listen,
Okay,
ask yourself
okay.
this question. When
No, it's
have
fine.
you
No, it's
ever
fine. You
ran
know, it's fine.
into
No, Brownsville is fine. It was just for clarification to see where you stand. Okay, Tio, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And finally, LAR movement says, Brownsville, why are you dressed like Blade in the daytime? They walk.
So I have a law enforcement job. That's what I do
Okay.
for work.
Law enforcement job. So I think I read all the $20 thingies. Okay. And now it's going to go to the judges. And again, friends, thank you very much for being here. 782 people watching. Mr. Fantastic, just final considerations before we judge the this Brownsville 2. You guys can have 2 minutes each.
You mean his ending statement?
Yeah.
Yes, ending statement. Yes, I'm sorry. Ending statement.
I went first.
Give me just 1 second, Fantastic. I just want to make sure
You're right, Fantastic. I hear you. You're right.
Yes, you are right. We're going to put the poll on our oral channels, okay? Sharon Bracy, who won, Mr. Fantastic, who won, and I will do the same, okay? Who won? 2 options, and we go from there. It's not going to be definitive, but it's just for having an assessment. There's 700 and some people watching, so let's make sure everybody votes.
And Fatty, we're going to start with Brownsville for the ending statements because we started with Fantastic prior.
Yes, sir.
So, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, and my moderating brothers, right? In this debate, Mr. Fantastic found himself backed up in a corner numerous times, right? And then he decided to make himself a victim by saying, well, oh, this whole debate was based on emotions and subjectivity. We need to be talking about the stats, right? And then he was only able to go on the offensive when he wanted to talk about the stats, right? So in a regular conversation, a normal conversation, men and women, when they conversate, they're not talking about the stats. They're just having a conversation about a particular topic. Mr. Fantastic is bad at that. Brownsville has shown that he can dismantle any argument Mr. Fantastic makes in a regular, honest debate. And it's clear. So he was my first victim in the Empire, and now I'm going to take it up a higher notch. And whoever's the next opponent on the Empire, if you think you can do a better job than Mr. Fantastic, come holler at me. But remember, I'm married. I like women. Stop being so enthused with my face. That's all I ask. Peace and love.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fantastic.
So, hey, I don't know. There was kind of some shots thrown there, so I don't know.
Go ahead. You have the right to reply. Go ahead.
Making sure it was heard by the mods. So again, like I said, I'm the only person that gave any type of statistical data, divorce rates, marriage rates, STD rates, all these different things and references. Even the point and fact of the matter that the National Institute of Health had to write studies about Black women and their dealings with men that have sex with men. Okay. My opponent is the only person that conceded to me 3 different times on one point, and then he contradicted himself to the point of where I clearly related him conceding to my one of my earlier points by him agreeing with me later on. This debating thing is not for everyone. I guess it sounds good, but hey, listen, panders go pander, right? Again, I don't pander to men. I don't just call all men kings. That's not even something that I use. Okay, that's not even. I challenge men to be better men, financially, morally, you know, just general success from career standpoint to working out to, you know, hell, becoming a firearms owner, all these different things, man. So again, this isn't just this thing to where, you know, these trolls in the chat, you know, mostly women that are, you never see their faces. They're horrible. They probably look like TD Jakes and Flavor Flav, you know, and trying to change this narrative.
Thank you very much, friends. I declare this debate concluded. So, I think it's time for us to see who won. Right now, I have how many votes? 158 votes. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, and vote. I would truly appreciate it. So, let me start with Sharon. Sharon Bracy, are you there? Or actually, let me go first because I want to put pressure on y'all. Aaron, can you go last, please? Is that possible? Aaron is good. So I'm feeling like it's going to have a dry breaker, so it is what it is, right? So, my choice as a winner of the debate today is Mr. Fantastic. Not because I think he completely demolished Brownsville, but because Brownsville contradicted himself several times during the debate. Like he was debating himself a lot of time. For example, the sexual objectification part, he literally admitted that he sexually objectified people before. Okay, so we have another one when he said he established the point saying people that are married is a sign of success. And then when we went further and asked, can single people be married, be happy? Can divorced people be happy? Can married people be unhappy? He kind of conceded, right? The justification of OnlyFans when he was saying that men are the ones that are because they are the CEOs and they are the brothel owners and all that. In my opinion, is a fallacy because prostitution been here since the beginning of time. It doesn't need to be structure. You can demolish you can demolish every single structure when it comes to sexual promiscuity and sexual platforms that enable these things. But the prostitutes just going to go on the streets just like roaches. On Brownsville side, the pandering part, Mr. Fantastic didn't do a good job by pinning on the pandering thing, because when I further ask Brownsville, do you treat all men, like do men get the king treatment? He said absolutely. One thing that Brownsville contradicted himself and kind of fucked up his point was all women are queens as a greeting, and then when we put it to the test and we highlighted the worst of the worst, it took it back, meaning not all women are queens. Brownsville couldn't dispel Fantastic point about women loving toxic relationships, but I'm not going to give a point to Fantastic because the point was an opinion. I don't think we should even I think we should debate opinions with opinions. I just mentioned this because he asked for the help of Google. The STD baby out of wedlock, I'll leave it alone. I have finally, to me this is the biggest point and kind of denies the purpose of debate. If the Rim brothers don't move the needle left or right and they are irrelevant, right? Why pretend all this time that the Rim brothers actually are moving the needle and influencing people? And it's not my opinion. He said it in the beginning of the show that having a bunch of men talking bad about women is going to make women feel some type of way. And then he kind of contradicted himself and said, Rim brothers don't move the needle. Kevin Samuels doesn't move the needle. Andrew Tate doesn't move the needle. So what we're doing here is kind of irrelevant. Okay, that's my point. I will concede this debate to Mr. Fantastic. Test.
Brother.
Sharon Bracy, you can go next, and Aaron can go last.
Good evening. I think this was pretty good of two men again having a conversation, and it shows that everybody, I gotta stop being scary of losing debates or winning debates and just have the debate. It doesn't matter. If you say you're the best, get out there and prove it. Number one, the sexual objectify. I think Fantastic did improve his point with that situation. I think that was just a horrible point. He wasn't able to make it because sexual objectification means that you only want the person for your benefit and you don't care about the other person's. And so you're not looking at the person as a human being. You're only objectifying them for sexuality. Also, I took a lot of points away for the insults in the beginning with the gay insults and just calling him a liar when it wasn't called for yet. It was just in the beginning of the conversation. There was no need to call people names and all that shit. So I thought that was crazy. The demand and the supply, I don't think Mr. Fantastic was able to substantiate that as well. So I gave that to Brownsville. The toxic relationship, Brownsville brought up points that's something that Mr. Fantastic actually said on a stream, and he wasn't able to substantiate that as well. The pandering, he definitely was able to define pandering to my liking, the way how Mr. Fantastic was explaining how he defines pandering. So I gave that one to Brownsville as well. And the all queens part. So I didn't mean to be biased, but clearly they gonna say I am. I didn't mean to. I promise.
Not one.
Oh,
thing.
No, I was. It's not that I didn't say the things that you did good at. It's just that I was just substantiating the reason why I believe Brownsville won. So now, again, and plus you was insulting me, even though I didn't take no points away from that when you was insulting me. I still didn't even take no point away from that because you thought I was attempting to be hostile, and I understand that. So I'm just substantiating the reason why I think Brownsville won and not substantiating the reasons why you lost. So that's why there's no need for me to bring up your side of the thing, the talking points that you won in, because I'm just substantiating the reason why Brownsville won.
Brother.
Why I'm getting rushed through? I don't understand.
No, it's because you said that do you want to explain things that he did good or are you good? Sharon, you know what? I apologize. Go ahead, you got
it. And that is the reason why I believe Brownsville won this debate. Brownsville did a better job at substantiating his argument, even bringing up Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X as versions of why he uses the women. So, in my opinion, Brownsville lost an awesome debate, an awesome back and forth between Mr. Fantastic.
See that Freudian slip? Y'all heard that Freudian slip? It's all right.
He said Brownsville lost, but it's like, are you sure?
Freudian slip, baby.
Mind? You change your mind? No?
Just for the record, Sharon, clarify who you think won the debate, because you just
contradicted myself by accident. Yeah. Brownsville won the debate. And
Brownsville won the debate, so we have one. And this is the reason why I saved Aaron for last, because I knew this is going to happen. So let's make sure Aaron, oh. Go ahead, sir.
You know, Ooh, you put the drip, put the little dun, dun.
Hey, go ahead, sir.
Interesting enough, this was actually a lot harder than people think it is. Especially because we all kind of do these shows. I actually agree with the most of the statements that Sharon put forward about why he leans more on the side of Brownsville. I also agree with the majority of points that Fatty said of why he puts Fantastic in the winner position. So I have to make my position based upon slight differences there. So I don't believe that Fantastic invalidated Brownsville points about objectification. Just because he objectified women doesn't mean he can't say that it's wrong because he did a deed in the past. So that doesn't nullify that. The lust in objectification, two different things. Fantastic did not prove that Brownsville is a panderer. He did not prove that. So we want to make that clear. When the points about are the Rim brothers because they're a minority are an issue, Brownsville is speaking specifically to the internet. And to that degree, if he's saying in this space, those people are an issue, that wasn't necessarily disproven either. Now, to Fantastic side, Brownsville did contradict himself many times. The marriage one, happiness, success, all those things, that was a tough one. The part about calling all women queens, I think Brownsville did not stand on his point good enough, because you could say that all women are queens. You could just say they're a bad queen. So he didn't stand on his position enough. You were able to shift him. I think Fantastic did a better job at shifting Brownsville's off his points than the opposite. Brownsville did not do the best job at shifting Fantastic off his points. I think when it comes to counters, Fantastic had more counters, and he was able to more clearly defend his point than Brownsville was able to. So, with that being said, I have Fantastic winning the debate. By a narrow margin.
By a narrow margin. Can you elaborate on that, Mr. Arano, before we read all the super chats? And
I can.
Go ahead, sir.
I can. Brownsville, he over-talked too much. Fantastic stop at certain points and made Fantastic nullify his points more. It would have fared better. I just think that when it came to Fantastic challenging his point and then getting him to concede more, it was more in the direction of Fantastic. I think initially neither of them stated a point, and it was firmly stated and proven. So, but as we got later on down the conversation, Fantastic just had more counters to get concessions.
So I will give Brownsville and Mr. Fantastic chance to react to the moderators. Let me start though. Let me start with the loser. We need the gold medalist is the silver medalist. Brownsville with his incredible.
We're going to have an open panel tomorrow. Okay, open panel at 5 p.m.
What do you think about
market is creating monsters?
The results that we
I haven't
gave
done
you,
an open panel probably 6 months to a year, so we're going to have a little bit of fun. And Friday we have super panel. I'm not going to be
we have no audio
in the panel. I'm going to be watching
Naruto.
I'm going to watch the concert.
No, I told you that nigga
so
got
I'm
in that
not
hot
going
ass
to be
car.
here.
He got a shiesty on.
Saturday
and a
we
trench
have
coat.
a live debate.
Probably passed out.
Okay.
Sharon, call
And
your
on
people. Check on
Sunday
your people,
we have
brother.
the infamous ladies first. So we have a full week. We have a full week. We have a full week. Pay attention to the White Channel and the morning show. The White Channel is starting on Friday. I'm sorry, friends, I keep delaying stuff, but there's a reason. There's some method to the madness, okay? So please make sure you subscribe to the Wake Up Fatty Show. Make sure you subscribe to the Wake Up Fatty Show. We are
Mr.
going
Brownsville.
Am I good now? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Sir.
There.
We want to see the tears.
1, 2, 3, test.
Can you get on camera back again?
Of course, y'all can hear me. Stop.
No.
Stop playing with me. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. What do you think about the ratings that we gave
and time out
to
the
you?
person
And how do you feel how you lost to Mr. Fantastic by Aaron? No, he said he was close.
1, 2, 3, test.
I respect the judge's opinion. You know, listen.
Friends, I'm going to repeat myself because there's a double audio here. Okay, we are going to do an open panel, and I'll appreciate y'all if you can pull up on Friday. Open panel tomorrow, super panel on Friday. I'm not going to be here, but Ali is going to hold the fort. So make sure you tune in. A real debate Saturday. Okay, Saturday. We have a debate, and then on Sunday we have the infamous ladies first. Okay, the morning show is going to be start this week, probably on Friday. So please go ahead and make sure. I'm going to watch the Naruto Orchestra. Okay, I have missed shows in years, but I'm going to miss my first one because I need to get some pussy too. So friends, once again, I appreciate you. Follow the Wake Up Fatty Show because we're going to start to do the morning show over there. I'll leave the chat there. If you're watching this on the replay, we needed $15 to get to all the goals. So please go ahead and if you can, Team Fatty $8, Team Fatty 8, I appreciate it. I want to thank Malma for becoming an Untouchable. Thank you very much. I want to thank Shadow Dragon TV for gifting 1 membership. Thank you so much. I want to thank Twisted Pub for the 10 Untouchable memberships. Thank you very much. Thank you. My brother Nido with 1 membership. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. And the sponsor of the show, she being Unstoppable Maisha. Thank you so much, Maisha, for supporting the show. I appreciate you. Matreon says, salute, Fatty. Panel in the chat. Gender war was created to separate us. Salute to you, Matreon. Master Ernest saying, Untouchable Empire, baby. I appreciate you. We have Matreon back again saying, Brownsville, is it wrong for a woman to lust after men like Chris Brown? Thank you very much, Matreon. RBN Through the Fire podcast, TJ says, it is okay to embarrass on behalf of this weirdo named Brownsville, aka Shitstain. Damn, that's crazy. Maisha comes through with a $20 super sticker. She's a sponsor of the show with $70. And then finally we have the Godfather. He says, the Godfather, aka Marine Mustang, he says, Marcus Garvey was suspect of ordering the murder of Reverend Laura Coffey in the pulpit of the church. She didn't have a lot of good things to say about Garvey. Response. Okay, so Matreon and Marine Mustang on Saturday, y'all can use the credit you had today and ask questions. I'll give you 2 questions each to the debaters. I'm probably going to be one of them. Okay, so Saturday live, Saturday SmackDown, and we will go from there. So friends, I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for all the love and for being here. Team Fatty and the Untouchables sending everyone to Red Lipstick Vibes. Go support the sister. She did great on the ladies first. So go support her. It's going to show up a link so you can literally click and leave to her channel. Even if you don't stay, make sure that you drop a membership, drop a donation, or just subscribe, okay? So Team Fatty and the Untouchables signing out. And I see y'all tomorrow on the open panel, 5 p.m. Peace.